There we go. Push it there as well. Yeah, I forgot to do something. But yes, I think the stream, the draft words today. Draft should be starting soon because this was scheduled for now. Shout out, by the way, to the Historic Alliance Gaming, my brain. They're the guys that organized this, so that's people like Jean Do who are involved. Lyra is involved as well. They are a French org that organizes show matches occasionally. We've cast a few of those before. They're the ones that made this happen. $150 best of 7 between 2 of the best in the game. If you are French and you want to check out that, if you just like to say oui baguette, and then I'll know that you want to have the link for that chat dropped. There is going to be a French cast. I think, let me find if they're live, because they should be going live around now. Okay, I can't see their channel. I'll let you know when they're up, though, because I think it's Hag official, but I will double-check that for you guys. Was it not? Because I think Jean Do is going to be casting it, but he's not live on his channel right now. You sound awesome as always. Oh, thanks. But let me have a look here. He might link to it in his channel. Okay, I just realized clicking on a French person's channel wasn't the smartest thing. I can't read a single thing here. But I'll let you know where they are when they actually go live. But I believe I'm keeping an eye on the draft website now, so we'll know the moment the draft is underway, and then we can watch it live. What's up, AOC? How's it going, bud? Hello, Larnak. Hello, Spaddle. I see everyone is starting to arrive. Oh, update on the streams for this week, guys. I originally was going to stream Monday and Tuesday, but it's looking like it'll probably just be Monday. I might try and snake one in on Wednesday, but at the same time, I really should prep because and get like packed and everything because I fly out really early on Thursday for Norway. Like absurdly early. Like I actually have to double check if coaches even run that early. They should though. Like I have to, basically my flight out of London is at 9:30 a.m. So yeah, I've got a very early start. So I'll probably try to get like, I'll try to go to sleep early for once in my life on Wednesday. So yeah, if you guys are going to be in Norway, let me know. I will be around. That's another reason to always use my Discord. It's a great way of staying in touch with me. !Discord. If you're going to be around the Norwegian land, because I am of course going to be there from Thursday to Monday. And I will be looking for a climbing gym very quickly. Bergen's a pretty good city for climbing gyms from what I've heard. That's where Magnus has set up his, but unfortunately that one's a bit far out from the city. So I won't be checking that one out this time. Maybe next time. But, let's see. We are now a few minutes past the hour, mate. Unless they've called themselves Voldemar and Henry Tudor. Which would be quite the debate, and I don't know why. No, I think Voldemar's just practicing some stuff, probably. And I think they're just taking their sweet ass time getting to it. So we might even have a little bit of time to have a look at something else so they're going to take any longer. Oh, you know what we can do, actually? I want more people to try... I want more people to actually try out... Battle Aces whilst available. So what we're going to do, we'll do a few key giveaways while we're waiting. I like that. Like, I don't remember how much longer Battle Aces has got. I think it's got like a week and a half or something like that left of the access. So what I'm going to do, guys, we're going to do a few giveaways. If you want to actually get yourself a key for Battle Aces, which I recommend trying. Some of you should have by now seen me playing it. Some of you would have seen Dimmy playing it. I definitely think it's a very casual, chill, very fun and accessible RTS, which is actually wonderful. Even if you think it's a little bit too simple for you, because as I know, Twitch chat has 15,000 elo, and you guys are so good that if you wanted, you could put Beasty out of a job, Greenlord out of a job, all of them out of a job, really. But, if you're looking for something a bit more casual, or if you want more people to come into your meat grinder that are games like Age of Empires and whatnot, I definitely recommend checking it out and recommending it to your friends who don't play RTSs. What I really discovered while playing that game is it feels simple enough that if someone hasn't played a strategy game before, they can pick it up, which is really good. So if you guys want to win a key, do this. If you don't, fine. But, I mean, it's a key for typing something in. It's kind of an easy win. While we're waiting on that, I'll try not to die. We might casually watch a game while we wait. Yeah. Maybe we could have some Dragavan gaming. Oh, I think Dragavan and Voldemar are practicing. That's interesting because I think they're on the opposite side of the drafts, right? The brackets, right? Makes a lot of sense. There seems to be a little micro involved. I don't think that's true, Packer. That's definitely not true. Trust me. As someone who uses gunbots a lot, there's actually quite a bit of micro that can be involved. As you see more people using bombers, you'll see a lot more micro involved there as well, for sure. And also the micro around blink units is very big. But exclamation mark, give aces. Give it a try, and then you can come to your own conclusion, right? There you go. We'll draw in a sec for one of the keys. Happen to join for a giveaway? Perfect time, dash in one. Well, hopefully your first time, but hopefully the first of many. All right, so let's quickly... We'll draw one key now, and then we can draw a few others as we go. So I'm going to roll it now. In like 5 seconds. Dash in one. Dude, first time in the stream, a giveaway's happening, and you get the key. What is this? Bruh. Oh, that's perfect, dude. There you go, yeah. Oh, make sure you unprivate your DMs, though. Do that quickly so I can message you your key. Guys, for those wondering what the hell we're doing here, we're going to be doing the show match. There's a show match between PuppyPaw and Beasty starting rather very soon. We're just waiting for them to do their drafting now. So it looks like they have actually started to set their stuff up. Let me just go ahead and I should be able to. Have they done the maps already? Oh, they have. They were fast about that. Okay, so Coastal Cliffs, 4 Lakes, Holy Island, Floodplain, Hill and Dale, and Bridges. Let me put giveaways in the title as well, because we are doing giveaways. Only saw Artosis play it. It's not sure he's a great representation. I mean, dude, he has to A-click, because then he can spend his time ripping his hair out as he gets frustrated about things. It's beautiful. You know, like there is definitely micro and strategy involved. But it's like, it's definitely been diluted down. I think there's room for, like, there's a lot of room for them to add things on that will make it deeper. Dash and one, have you unprivated your whispers? Nice, there you go. Perfect. Right, enjoy the key, buddy. Remember, sign up on their website, and then they'll send you through a Steam key. So, let's have a look. The draft's underway. Going to be doing IBIS Japanese. I'll give away another key at the end of the draft, by the way. So exclamation mark, give aces, and I'll give one out then. So we've got English, HRE, Rus, Byzantine bands. These are these global bands? Or are we, these must be global. There's no way, like, there's no way you draft like this. It wouldn't make sense. You wouldn't give one player Rus and Biz and the other HRE English. So this is 100% global bands, right? Wait, does that mathematically work? My brain. No, dude, that can't mathematically work. Alright, we'll find out in a sec. They didn't give me details on whether it's global or not, but when I saw this, I assumed it's global, because there's no way you let these civs through on each side. Yeah, exclamation mark, give aces like that, Gully. That's how you get your hands on a key. So, opening... Interesting from PuppyPaw, Japanese Abbasis, he's prioritizing the water hybrid maps. So if you look at the rotation here, you've got Holy Island, 4 Lakes in here. Floodplain, not as much, because it's like there's no fishing value. But these civs are really good at fishing. And then, of course, they have some great value around denying docks. So for the Japanese, there's Shinobi, which is obvious. I actually think the Japanese Shinobi suck compared to what the Abbasis get on offer. Cheaper docks to set up on multiple lakes, and the Ram shenanigans is really powerful. In a Japanese Abbasid matchup, that's where it's a bit different. Like, Japan can actually ruin Abbasis Ram strat. But against other civs, Abbasis feels a bit more omni-ranged. And yeah, Chinese coming in as well. That's like, I think I'd say that still to this day is PuppyPaw's signature civ. He's phenomenal in the Chinese. He made a bit of a reputation at the early stage of the year with the Byzantines, but I still think China is still, in my eyes at least, his #1 civ, the most scary one to put in his hands. The Beasty's got scary as well, right? Delhi Ibis. This is a very kind of standard formulated competitive draft coming out from Beasty. If you were looking at these picks right now, you'd expect us to be on a draft of Coastal Cliffs, Dry Arabia, and like... I don't know, Hill and Dale. But yeah, actually, like, what happened here? Did PuppyPaw legit random Hill and Dale? I mean, dude, it's one way of keeping it spicy. I'll give it to him. But yeah, that's a bit funky. I wasn't expecting that. Oh, blimey. Battle Aces are really cool. Keeping to AV4 though, as I really like the component of using buildings, walls, and terrain to your advantage. Yeah, my suggestion is more like a lot of people are going to make the mistake of trying to bring their friends to Age of Empires 4, and it's just I don't think Age of Empires 4 is in a noob-friendly state, to be honest with you. I'd recommend to those people to draw your friends' attention towards Battle Aces, because what you do is it's like Battle Aces is simplified in the way it targets a specific idea about how you play the game, in a way that's very approachable for completely brand new players to RTSs. Age of Empires 4 doesn't have that at all. Right? StarCraft doesn't have that. Most RTSs are too complicated for a person who's never played an RTS before. It's so polarizing. I don't like to call it entry-level RTS because I think that does it a disservice, because I think there is a cool amount of skill involved in the games, but no. The word that I've been using is it's a gateway RTS. Gateway is the perfect word to describe it. It's an RTS that gets you into the RTS field. Because and that's the ironic beauty. Because I don't know if you guys have thought about this, but it was definitely reinforced by someone was on Reddit asking for them to tweak the alert system, and there was so many gatekeepy reactions to it, and I was like, this is exactly the problem with RTSs and why we struggle to grow. We are such a gatekeepy, and a lot of us don't mean to, but it's a gatekeepy genre. It is one of the most gatekeepy genres that exists. I'm not sure which is more gatekeepy, RTSs or MOBAs. Maybe MOBAs, and that's usually because I feel like most RTS scenes at its core is less toxic, but, it's close, right? But we've got our drafts. Let me pull the link here, and we'll pull it across to my pretty draft screen, and we can dissect this a little bit, because this is kind of intriguing. It's usually got left quite late, and guys, it turns out it was not global bans. But I guess you were only allowed to ban once. They couldn't mirror bans, maybe? I don't know. Beasty kind of got a better draft then. There's enough standardized maps, I'd say. Killendale's in there, Bridges is in there, Lipany, Coastal Cliffs. The fact that you got Ibis, Delhi, Roost, Byzantines, I feel like I like his draft more. I feel like PuppyPaw needed an additional watery map like Kawasan or something for his draft to make more sense. He's still got some strong picks on land though. English H3 can function there. Ottomans has some spice to offer on maps like Killendale. But I would slightly favor Beasty based on these drafts. Let me get these into the overlay though. So if we switch over now, that should show correctly. And we are going to be on a best of 7. Oh, and we're going to do a giveaway. You guys ready? Got 10 more seconds. Get your exclamation mark give aces in. They will redo the draft? Wait, why are they redoing the draft? What do you mean? Rude? Did something go wrong? Did they duck up? Or are you full cap? Alright, let's get ready for the roll. Who's going to get a key? Easy J. Congrats, bud. I will admit there is a slight extra luck for subscribers, but it's nothing drastic. I think it's like a slight extra chance to win. So Easy J made the right choice using his sub today. There you go, buddy. Congrats. Let me send you through the key. Yeah, I haven't made it completely unfair. I think it's the 1 pip up. I'm not one of those people that gives a 10 times advantage. And we've kind of seen that today, right? Someone brand new to the channel, brand new to watching AOE4, immediately got a key. So it's nicely balanced. All right, there you go, Easy J. That'll give you access, bud. Congrats. Well, we're giving away a few more of these. I think I'll try to give away one every game, after every game. So make sure you use those give aces. Make sure you remind me if I forget to do a giveaway, because we'll try to keep it as fluid as possible. I think it's because the draft give to Puppy 2 picks 2 times. Oh, really? Okay, so let me double check they're redoing the draft. Thank you for that clarity. Let me refresh. I see a very recent one. Wait, is this the right one? Are you sure they've redone it? Because there's not a new one showing up. Let me double check. Alright, I think they're rejigging the draft now so they can draft through. I guess the one they were given had some sort of mistake in it. So we've got a little bit more time. But the maps are at least going to be remaining the same. So that thing is not going to change, guys. So in terms of those details, we can keep looking at that. Like, overall, I think the drafting philosophy is very intriguing, though. Very different between the two. Like, Beasty was very clearly focusing on land maps only for most of his draft. He waited until the very end, right? And that's well, not the entire end, because he had Roos Biz already allocated because he banned, right? Roos Biz kind of suck on water hybrid maps, in my opinion. Like, Byzantines, you're not going to see it on Four Lakes. You're not going to see it on Holy Island. Roos you can, but I think there's just better choices like China, Zhuji, and he got Zhuji, of course. I do, funnily enough, think that Byzantines might be able to function on Four Lakes. I just haven't really seen anyone experimenting with it. My thought process is around Hippodrome there in particular. You basically just fish. You only care about fishing. You don't care about anything else, right? You don't play aggro into their ponds. You just play defensive with your own ponds. And you get your hands on border settlements with a house, which allows you to see them trying to sneak a dock early. Then horseman raids can stab them down. Exploratores will pay you for killing those villages as well. And then you just kind of beam your way towards the enemy side on land. So I haven't really seen anyone try that type of approach yet on Four Lakes. We've seen some attempts at that style on Holy Island, and that didn't work so well. I feel like what people like B were attempting on Holy Island with Byzantines would work 10 times better on Four Lakes because of the stylistic approach, right? It's more safe economy than it is aggro. All right, here we go. So they're drafting again. So I think what? So there was a problem in the final pick, so I'm imagining they're going to pick the same up until, like, what, 5th pick, probably? Biz has good water potential. Yeah, but not for water fighting. It's just about water eco. It's all about the eco, man. You get that eco and you pump land, that's how you do it. Okay, so it's just... No, it's completely different then. Because BC got China this time. Ooh, yeah, PapyPaw has to take Zhuji then. You can't leave the potential on the field for Beasty to get 2 of the absolute top civs on water so easily that can kind of screw over your Japanese Abbasid opening plan, right? Zhuji would definitely lock you into Holy Island there, whereas China has better flexi. That's why I feel a bit bad for PuppyPaw here. Like, China is just a better Zhuji for this map pool, in my opinion, because you've got Four Lakes and Holy Island there, right? You can't really play Zhuji on Four Lakes and feel good. You can play them on Holy Island and feel great. Right, the reasons the meditation garden placements are really fantastic and stone placements are useful. Whereas Japan, you know, like Japan is probably what he wanted to play on Holy Island. Works quite well there, but can play Four Lakes. And he wanted to have China as kind of like this looming threat. The fact that Beasty also took China protects the Delhi pick. Remember, China deals with Delhi really well on standardized maps because the Barbican drop ruins the win condition. So we've got Zhone. Really good counter to Delhi. I think Zhone was taken last time by Beasty, so there's a lot of Civ trading going on around this time. Mongols coming out is kind of intriguing. Mongols looked like they were really underperforming, but I've got some interesting stats for you guys right here. Check this. Mongols, like, for all the flack we've given them, not bad. Perfect 50% win rate, right? They're one of only 2 civs to hit that. And that is because of these different flavored maps. Like, if you look at the Mongol picks, you can see they got picked a lot. Socotra won a lot there. Hill and Dale, they actually done remarkably well. I was really surprised by that. And then the other places where they done well is like Kawasan, Dry Arabia. Kawasan was weird. I think same with Abbasids. I think Kawasan, Abbasids and Mongols are 2 of the best picks. It's just that they are the expected picks. And a lot of players that were not the better player did pick them as well, which kind of skewed their rankings. But Zhuji and Chinese, man, I don't know. Like, this is a bit worrisome. I think PuppyPaw is probably looking at Four Lakes, Abbasids, Japanese, Holy Island, but that makes you very predictable, right? Whereas Beasty has a bit more agency there, right? We've even seen him play Delhi on Four Lakes, which is kind of unorthodox, but can work. Ayabids could be on Four Lakes. You know, you could have Chinese on Four Lakes. You could also then on Holy Island go for either China or Mongols. PuppyPaw has a bit more depth, I think, potentially with English to flex that to Holy Island, but not many players have been doing that recently. And yeah, so it will be the Rus Byzantines to round out. I actually feel like this time around, the second draft around, like first time I said Beasty's draft looks a bit better. This time it looks even better. I'm thinking lab maps, whether PuppyPaw done anything that adjusted his. Marlins is quite nice for a few of these, like Hillendale isn't fantastic in my honest opinion. I think Bridges can work okay. I imagine Beasty probably considers Delhi for Bridges. I haven't seen Zhone versus Delhi on Bridges much. I feel like that's a bit better for Delhi because they can split the map away from Zhone, but it's still the same matchup for the most. But if the Delhi has to come out against Zhone inevitably, that's probably where Beasty looks to lean it. Coastal Cliffs is probably going to be what? Ayabids feels really good, but Delhi could work there as well. It's just you don't really want Delhi into Zhone. Ayabids feels a little bit safer, And then I imagine PuppyPaw is going to react with either... Does he go English or does he go HRE? Probably English. HRE really struggle in that matchup because if they try to feudal, they can't break the base quick enough. And if they fast castle, Ibids are kind of ready for them, right? And you could argue maybe it's a harder map for Ibids to defend because they can't get arrow slits, right? The stone is way too far away. All right, let's have a look. Because the opening map is going to be Lipany, so probably looking at what? Would you go China this early? No, probably Byzantines. It's a solid opening pick. It's not exactly hard countered. So I'd expect like Byzantines and then PuppyPaw knowing he's going to be against Byzantines. Like, what, do you throw away a weak civ or do you try to contest it? You could try something like English there, but you're playing into a very heavy map, which is just like a very advantageous for the Byzantines. Maybe Malians would be kind of intriguing. But I feel like that win rate is quite heavy for Byzantine still, right? Like, if I was to percentile this, I think that matchup is pretty biased towards Biz. Yeah, very biased. Almost 70% in favor of Byzantines. All right, have they drafted it for the first map? Oh, let's also pull that across so we have the updated draft. Okay, I think they used the previous one, I guess. Because I think they've already drafted their civs. 1 second. They had another one here for their civ picker. Nope. Okay, that was a bit weird. Alright, I don't know. The other one's gone now. But we should find out in a second. Should we do another key giveaway? Or should we wait until after the first game? Depends. They're in lobby now. We can do another key giveaway. Ah, dude, I'm like Santa right now. Exclamation mark, give aces. I'll draw a key in like 20 or 30 seconds. If you guys want to be in a chance to play in the game, go, go, go. Exclamation mark, give aces. Genuinely, I think this really is an RTS that everyone should at least try. It won't be for everyone because some people feel it's not complicated enough, but genuinely, I think we as an RTS community want overly complex too often, and it becomes a negative. Because what we do, and we don't mean to, is we create an environment where new players can't approach it. Like, I'm surprised Dota 2 keeps overcomplicating itself further for that reason. So, you know, like, people want to know how did RTSs come back? The number one way that RTSs come back is we start inviting new players. But the more we complicate the genre, the less inviting it becomes, right? And I say this as someone who plays very complex games, guys. Like, the amount of hours I've got in games like Europa Universalis, Hearts of Iron, the amount of RTSs I play. But it's about being self-aware. Like, those games are not new player friendly whatsoever. All right, so have they... They're in lobby now, so they'll be starting shortly. Good RTS will never be mainstream? No, that's not entirely true. A good RTS can be. I think like another thing that's really been lost in the RTS community of development is the idea that complicated equal good. There is a mantra in game design that is so honestly true, it's incredible that it gets overlooked all the time. And it's simple to pick up, hard to master. That is actually the perfect game. Simple to pick up, hard to master. Right? I always say, if you want to be a game designer or a level designer and you have not thoroughly researched Portal on how to design a game, then you aren't actually serious about being a designer. Portal is probably, to this day, the best designed game from a flow point you'll ever find. It shows you a mechanic. It shows you how to use that mechanic. It then shows you another mechanic. Shows you how to use that mechanic. Then it shows you how to use that mechanic, the previous mechanic, right? And all the different ways you can do it before introducing another mechanic, right? So, like, it's so approachable in that regards. Like, genuinely, if someone in my chat has not played Portal, please do yourself a favor and play Portal. Dr. Jarman, you there, buddy? I can't remember if you won a key already. Did you? Are you like a double winner? Are you the big winner? You here, Jarman, buddy? Congrats, you won a key. For good old Battle Aces, you there? You're here? Nice, there we go. Fantastic. Let's get your ass in game. Enjoy. Congrats, congrats. Oh, I think you maybe won the other day, but you left when you came up in the roll. So there you go. Justice. All right, Beastyqt face-off. I think they are now in game. Let's see if there's a delay. Good RTS was already mainstream in the past. Yeah, but that's like grandpa logic of like, you know, being racist and misogynistic was mainstream in the past. Go into a club and call someone, drop the M-bomb with someone, nothing would happen. It's not the way it is now, right? Like, times change. Maybe that's like an extreme comparison, but you get my point, right? Like, times change. I think too often we're like, oh, it's been that way before. Why can't it again? It's like, because times change, dude. Like, the classic one I always use is like my great-great-great-grandpa used to toss his crap into the streets. It was less than ideal. Yeah, grandpa used to toss. We got tossed out. A little bit weird. Apology about that. Legit, I seen transitioned. I think I had too much going on, and it, like, because I seen transition to reloaded, and it crashed everything. It didn't outright crash, though. It looked like it just froze my camera. So I wasn't as quick to reset. But I think we're good. Let's get ready for the action, though. It's time to kick it off. We've got a best of 7 show match. One and all, welcome back to Age of Empires for action. And we've got 2 of the absolute tops in this $150 show match. The South Side's kicking off this series in the yellow, playing as the Ibids. It is Beastyqt. Arguably the second best player we have in 2024 in Age of Empires 4. But nibbling at his heels on that podium, I think most people put this guy top 3 right now. PuppyPaw begins this series in the red on the HRE. Best of 7, remember, folks. We've got some interesting maps ahead of us. A little bit of water, a little bit of traditional land, and some custom maps that you won't see in your own quick matchmaking experience. But Ibids HRE, we dissected this as a possibility on the start, right? Like, Ibids, it's one of those very kind of favored civs. I thought maybe we'd see Byzantines instead. Beasty probably felt that was a bit too predictable. Maybe he anticipated the HRE, because I think actually that matchup, HRE, do really well. This matchup, HRE kind of struggle, folks. We've got a draft that I do think Beasty got the better part of, and he's already kind of looming it over PuppyPaw here. Right? HRE kind of feels predictable to play on an opening map because it works everywhere. It's very strong. But in this particular matchup, as long as the Ibid player gets a retracted gold, and yes, he did, it's very hard for the HRE to brute force this in feudal. And, ooh, what? Wait. That is so crazy. It might work. I can't believe that. PuppyPaw cancels the Arkin safe at home because he sees a miracle drop here. This is so unorthodox. Guys, there's a reason why you don't do this. Take it from a person who began the beta of Age of Empires 4 as an HRE main. People didn't punish me then because they didn't realize what they realized very quickly after release. If the Arkin isn't in range of the TC, what the hell protects it? Right? This is so insanely greedy. He's going for the double deer shove in with the berries, wood, and gold. Okay, so like maybe I could understand this if it was, say, a double TC play. And it might be that he's looking for feudal pressure, but the reality of how this plays out is like if Beasty just plays the flanks, he can still attack this. In fact, it's kind of even easier to attack this. So PuppyPaw is going to have to either wall it in, outpost it up, or leave troops to defend. And all those options take away from a feudal all-in and feed into this idea that Ibids can go fast castle. So curious to see if PuppyPaw can hit that timing. I definitely think it's a little bit of a tough one, but look at this. We're not even waiting for the age up to tick. Spearman already being produced by PuppyPaw. I think we're going to have military with the other side, right? Yeah, raid is already coming. Outpost also being built, so you will have that defense. Remember, you don't need to place the outpost past the gathering point unless you're up against javelins or lombos. HRE do not have either of those. So you want to keep it closer to where the villages are so they can immediately garrison before projectiles hit them. What a wild build. I've casted how many hours? I don't know. Like someone tried to guesstimate in chat for me. How many hours of Age of Empires 4 have I cast now? Like actually, let's do it a better way. In the last 2 years, I've cast thousands. It's thousands, right? It's thousands of hours of Age of Empires 4. In the last 2 years. That's kind of crazy to think about. But anyway, getting away from that. In the last 2 years, and all of those hours of casting, I have not seen a single player do this with an Arkin. I would have to go back to the first year of Age of Empires 4 to see people do this with an Arkin. This is so wild. Desert Raider sneaks on through. Now, keep in mind, stepping against the spears is going to be difficult because there's so many of them. Right? They have the movement speed, remember. When they actually charge, they move quicker than the Desert Raider does. So that's why he went Mass Spearman here. He understood it was going to be Desert Raiders, and scaling Archers is just too slow. Right? Like, you'll still get kited out. Because Archers will move at 1.25 static, whereas these guys fluctuate, as you're seeing there. 1.72 and then back down to 1.38. What a crazy build. Archer is now coming in on the delay, though. And this should stabilize him to the point they can brute force. But the problem is what's happening on the other side, guys. Beasty's already on his way up, right? He's about to pull the trigger. And this is the thing about this Archon. Like, while this Archon's kind of sick, you have to really process how much longer it took him to build. Like, without Wheelbarrow, that's a long way to walk. And once again, without Wheelbarrow, that's a long way to walk. Like, every single villager that comes out is doing this walk. He does not have a mill. He does not have Wheelbarrow. He just has this idle inefficiency for, like, the first, what is it? I want to say 10 to 12 seconds of a villager's life. It might even be longer. Like, if he's going for gold or food, it's actually longer. That's crazy. Spearman Archer numbers starting to build, though. Beasty, in the meantime, has pulled the trigger. Growth Wing now on the way. So we've got experimental and different into standard versus absolutely standard. And this doesn't look good either, guys. I'm not a really big fan of Men-at-Arms. The problem with Men-at-Arms here is actually Desert Raiders deal with them reasonably well. Lancers disintegrate them. You'd think Desert Raiders would lose to Men-at-Arms. They do not. It's 5 melee armor against a unit that has 8 base damage, if I remember correctly. Oh, sorry, no, it goes up to 10, right? That's still a 50% DPS loss. And in return, you have, I think it's 3 melee armor versus a unit that hits you for 13, right? It's just not a favorable fight. You also have the same health, basically. Oh, how do you do this? Blacksmith's now coming in. So at least have the tech upgrade. Maybe the logic here is scale archers to the point that you can just kill camel lancers. So archer spear, archer spear. That can at least force Beasty and Golems, right? And if he has to go Golems, his timing is very slow to get on the map. And he can get kited by the HRE, right? The marching drills give them that type of movement speed to stay away, right? 1.38 instead of the 1.25. Means even when you're charging, you don't necessarily stick on top of him. But Beasty yet to make a commitment here. Villagers are getting raided. He didn't wait, what? Beasty didn't garrison the outpost. What? Oh my god, he's just going raw archers. I mean, well, he's got enough gold for blacksmith techs and veterancy, right? But this can't be Golems, it can't be lancers. You don't have gold access. The other gold is forward. Wow. I did not see this coming. Tech up complete. PuppyPaw. Non-stop gunning on the other side of this. Could also burn down the house, which might end up pop-blocking Beasty. He's already anticipating it to a certain degree. Actually has another house coming up. Dude, this is actually legit just going to be mass archers, which is kind of crazy, right? If you get the veterancy and you get Steeled Arrow, you hit hard enough to kill Men-at-Arms. Dive's coming in the meantime, though. Give me a shift past. Undermesh already researched. PuppyPaw timed this perfectly. A block on the mosque as well. Villager will be going down. I love the fact he's expecting the villager to get pulled back and it never does. And now a shift outside the other side of the base. This is not the way to safety. More troops are coming in. Beasty. His brain's about as scrambled as an egg right now. More troops arriving. No, wait, did he get Wheelbarrow? I think he did. Okay, that was smart by Beasty. Considering he just done a lap of his own tree line, that offsets some of the pain. But we are far from being out of Pain Town yet, folks. Practically every part of Beasty's economy is idle. Only these 8 villages are working right now. Archer count is also low still. Spearman reaching in so damn quickly. Archer's trading out with their counterparts. Veterancy has at least come in, but the count is low for Beasty. This dive proving expensive, but maybe worthwhile. PuppyPaw reducing the eco lead of Beasty. Keeping him shut inside of his base. Behind this, though, PuppyPaw holding nothing in reserve. Remember, he went for this gluttonous Archon. He can't afford to go for greed. He has to be full-on, as I like to say, Assassin's Creed on this one. Deers have been shoved in. He still has them to harvest from. He's weirdly enough gathering on the berries, which is a little bit unexpected here, but that might have been a misclick. He's got plenty of sheep remaining. The wood line will also last quite a while longer. Don't be deceived. Yes, Beasty does have 5 more villages. Remember how much weaker his economy is. Raw number-wise, PuppyPaw can pump more. That's the HRE Archon buff, baby, in a nutshell. Love I glance across that moment to see Crackety moaning about HRE in my chat. It wouldn't be an Age of Empires 4KP stream if Crackety didn't come through to type HRE OP. Beasty. This is gluttonous, though. Does he have enough archers to defend? With the men-at-arms here, I'm a little bit skeptical. He's going to have to. PapyPaw marches in. Sees the mill, sees the villagers. Doesn't go straight for it, though. Sticks on top of the archers. Remember, the marching drills allows him to keep gap closed here. Spearmen are at least getting targeted down. But these men-at-arms, remember, they're not so threatening for Desert Raiders if it's just a fight between the two. The archers is the critical detail here for PapyPaw. Will be a pivot south side now. In the meantime, dervishes have started to spawn. PapyPaw will begin the hunt. Stealth Forest is going to make it a nice, smooth dodge from Beasty as he shifts south side and PapyPaw whiffs west. Oh my god, and he actually genuinely believes that he went all the way out here. Which is wild, right? Like, PapyPaw had double scout. He should see all the resources more or less. There's nothing here to gather. Realistically, Beasty's going to try to be greedy here because without the food source, he's dead anyway. Because he won't be able to scale anything. Not even archers. Dive comes in again. Archer count starting to get a little bit more scary, but PapyPaw getting it together fast. A little bit of bleed over onto the villagers. As the front line does not really exist. And Beasty wasting a lot of time A-clicking into the men-at-arms now. More idle time again. Beasty! Dude, at this rate, this game's going to finish with him gathering about 50% of the time on average. What a crazy game. PapyPaw. Men-at-arms numbers are being the oppressor here. Up to almost double digits now. And Beasty still with only a handful of archers at his disposal. It might have worked for a lad in a forest over near Nottingham. But we are most definitely not in England. And it's not going to have that same wallop as Robin Hood might have. Beasty needs mass. Beasty does at least have relics coming in, right? So the gold gathering isn't an issue. Potentially we could see lancers. It still feels too expensive on food though, right? He has got the eastern pocket, but I think that's where PapyPaw is going to check next. Like, now it gets predictable, right? Like, you've starved the west side, your opponent isn't coming there. There's only one place he can be in the game to stay in the game. He's moving there now. Looks like there is a hunt to protect those remaining relics. The dervishes getting very greedy here. Main armies are going to clash. And arm archers sticking on top of it here. Beasty not able to move away quick enough. Still only desert raiders, no camel lancers, no front line. Unless the villagers want to maybe take a chance at being a spim. Nope, no, they just went out here. More are going to be sniped down. Beasty's eco lead continues to shrink. Men-at-arms have leaked over into the economy. Archer count starting to shrink up a little though. Beasty at a point where he can stand his ground now. On the flank, PapyPaw will pull away just in time, and damage most definitely done. Beasty's eco lead now reduced down to 1. There will be a relic drop and a run away. PapyPaw has no interest in the relics though. Guys, it is a Burgrave to try and end the game. I mean, this is sick. Like, this is actually really smart by PapyPaw. He still has substantial food left over. He's got most of the berries. He's got 2 or 3 deer. He's got about, what, 6 to 7 sheep and a few farms in there. This is smart because Beasty has gone raw archers and can do nothing else. If you get the men-at-arms pump going with their veterancy, with their armor upgraded, Beasty can't kill them. And he hasn't started building a single unit yet that can. Dervish gets blocked out again. Age up complete. Beasty is probably now expecting Regnants, right? Because there's still 3 relics on the field, and 2 of them are very close to PapyPaw's side. Couldn't be more wrong. Dervish is going to try to sneak through. PapyPaw fully aware of it and still hunting. Archers still just kiting, drawing attention. PapyPaw everywhere at once. Archers and men-at-arms now moving across the right side. Beasty's entire army has been dragged west. This could be big. Relic also going to be blocked on the return, most likely here, considering there's archers and men-at-arms there. And the flood begins. Archer? Wait, I don't think PapyPaw saw that. He does at least block the relic here. The one close to home did get picked, so Beasty now on 3 relics. But he's behind by 7 villages. It's getting worse and worse. Ooh, a lot. I don't know if I like this. This is a... Wait. This is a lot of wasted effort for PapyPaw. He has a timing attack here, right? If he waits, Beasty gets crossbows. He's starting to scale a few. Archer Man's still reacting. This is over half of Beasty's army right now. PuppyPaws, on the other hand. Well, they're getting ready to put on their flippers and their goggles because it's time to dive. Men-at-Arms charge in. Crossbow count is low, slow, and about to blow up on itself. Not many to work with, no crossbows left. Dive in, and that is going to be it. PuppyPaw with the succinct 1-2. The greedy Archon pays off. HRE players, take note. If you want to play all-in feudal, stop hiding in your base. Get out on the map. Live life its best way. Live life the PuppyPaw way. Oh, dude, what a sick first game from PuppyPaw. That was incredible. I cannot believe it. That Archon was insane. No one would have expected that Archon either. That was such an absurd Archon. Oh my god. 1 second. I need to... Yeah. I'm not sure if I upload these as like a full series edited down, like, or what. I'm still trying to figure that out because I've been talking to my editor about how you want to do this now. That was an incredible game from start to finish, though. And that is just one of many to come, guys. So let me strike those ones off the menu. They have been dab little towel munched on. And let's see. So if we mark Iobids and HRE is used. It's really cool, though, because like Iobids genuinely are seen as favored by most players in that matchup. Like, it's a very hard matchup to actually navigate for HRE right now with the fuel pressure type build. But that Archon made it work, right? Like, I've seen so many HRE players in feudal struggle. Not even the OP Iobids can win against the HRE. There it is. Most people very definitely favor it. Really? Dude, the last, like, 5 times I watched HRE versus Iobids where HRE tries to feudal all in, it just doesn't work. And that's, like, people like Kiljadi B, for example. So, like, not incompetent players. I mean, maybe I've just seen bad spawns, but, like, recently the ones I've been watching, if HRE plays feudal, I'd say it's even. Yeah. So it's, like, more of an outskill. It's based on spawn as well, though, right? Like, I feel like if an Ibid player gets a back spawn gold, it's very hard to do anything. Think early pressure that IO can apply? Ask the top. Yeah, maybe... When I say favored, I don't mean like 90-10, by the way. But I do feel like, of the games I've seen, every time I watch HRE try to crack that egg, it's almost like, okay, yeah, Iobid seem to just have a firm hold. Beast's gonna have his opinion now? Oh, yeah. Don't worry, I look forward to being told I'm wrong all the time. What do I call that, dude? That's like the greediest Archon ever. Alright, so let's see. I think they're in-game already. Oh, perfect. There we go. Let me get that one started up then. You know what? Fair point, Farm Man. Thank you for doing that. Appreciate you. Closer than people think, but I'm very sure most people favor HRE by quite a bit. That's interesting. I guess I've just had, like, poor representations, even though they're top players. Like, top 16 players. Ooh, this one's kind of funky, though. Alright, should we get ready to get into this? Because this one has some interesting dynamics. Welcome back to the PuppyPaw versus Beastyqt show match. Best of 7, $150 series here. We're hopping to the Holy Island for game number 2. PuppyPaw with the Japanese and Beasty with the Classico OP Civ. How does it not get nerfed every single patch? It's the Rus. Now, this is an interesting matchup, actually, guys, because Rus versus Japanese, when Japan was dunking on everyone on, like, Rocky River when it first came out, this was seen as one of the solutions to the OP Shinobi opening. Rus don't care about the Shinobi because they can just convert their existing boats to block it. I'm curious to see if it pays off, though, because I've got to say that opening play sounds really good on paper always for the Rus. I feel like the longer this goes into the feudal, though, the better it's been feeling for the Japanese from what I've been seeing. It's just not a matchup we unfortunately get to see very often, especially on Holy Island, because when Holy Island is in this pool, either Rus are banned, Japanese are banned, or both are. But remember, this is a very different style of banning where one player would ban a civ away from the other, and that would allow him to then pick it himself. So it's a very unorthodox style of drafting to what we usually see. So, for example, for those who didn't know, Beasty, he banned the Byzantines, the Rus picked them last, and then PuppyPaw banned the Acher and the English and picked them last. Oh, are we... We're slightly off live. I'm going to hit the 2 times to catch up immediately as much as possible. I think we're a few seconds out. But yeah, I think we did talk about at the start of the series, like Rus versus Japanese aside, like the whole draft as a whole, BC looked like he had a better draft. But after what I saw in one game, the starting game from PuppyPaw, I'm bloody well impressed, man. And I do think that, you know, I said after Elite Classic 2 that Japan is the kings of Holy Island, and I kind of stand by that. I feel like Juji is the only one who really holds a torch to them. But outside of that, you do have kind of these weird strategies that are off meta, right? Like we saw, for example, players like B trying things like the Byzantine Hippodrome, which didn't quite work. Opening-wise, we are going to get the standard fishing boat drop-offs. PuppyPaw, I don't think you go for like a second dock straight away, right? Like, it's an option. It doesn't feel like a great option here. He's nowhere near ready to start his tech up, though. This feels very quick for Beasty. Did he do well in the bounty system? Oh, wow. Yo, guys, just remember that once upon a time, killing sheep gave gold as well. Imagine how tilting this would be in that meta. Should we have a look at the bounty and see how Beasty done? Because we are watching live. We do get that beautiful choice. 140. Might need to do a remix. Nah, okay, it's just one scout, guys. Like, we're not going to do a remix of the Marine Law song. Remember, it's only one scout because you can't open hunting cabin when you go fishing. It just puts you too far behind. Right, so kind of to be expected. The deer have been ignored on the east side here so far, though, right? Like, PuppyPaw hasn't taken them out. So he's just kind of offering that up. It looks like the thought process is that PuppyPaw still thinks he can take out the dock. I'm just not entirely convinced. And no, we cannot look at the bounty if it's not a live game, because if it's not a live game, when we look at the bounty, you'll see the timeline, what will show you the end of the game. Me doing what I just done is even a risk, because let's say, like, usually games have 5-minute delays, right? This one doesn't. If it had a 5-minute delay and the game ended 4 minutes from now and I show you the bounty, you'd actually see the end of the timeline. So yeah, pretty cringe that we still have that issue with the Observer tool 3 years later, but it is what it is. Fishing boat conversion comes in. Beasty, this is the scary thing that the Rus are renowned for on these type of maps. PuppyPaw greedy with the attempt at the third dock will be denied. Guys, PuppyPaw doesn't actually have enough room to protect all his eco, right? Yeah, because he's trying to scale more fishing boats. This is bad. Oh, man. All right, dude, I'm impressed. I thought Japanese would be able to navigate this a little bit better, but right now, PuppyPaw is struggling. I'm trying to actually think if there's something you could have drastically done different. Like, maybe a third dock could have made it work, but this is something we always have to remind ourselves of, is the absurdity of the Rus tech timings. On average, they have one of the fastest feudal tech timings in the game because of the bounty system, right? He may not have got an insane amount of gold, but it saved him from needing to go in the gold vein. That's a huge difference, right? For the tech up timing anyway. Because he saves 50 wood on the mining camp, he saves the idle time of walking over, he saves the issue of having to gather those villages and puts it all into wood instead. And remember, when you go for that initial conversion into a galley, you don't need gold. Does sneak back out for the dock now, but PuppyPaw definitely in pain. Eco count is at least better for him. Coca Township is being rushed up. 6 now working on it. Previously, it was 9. The problem here is the Coca Township realistically shouldn't do anything. Because anytime you come in with Shinobi to try and sabotage, like, there should be a boat already here. Even if BC hadn't already teched up this far in advance, you could always have basically converted one of these fishing boats. And this is why the Rus was seen as the answer to Japanese when Rocky River looked busted for them. You know, if these fishermen were smart, they'd actually be making more resources than Beasty. Because they'd be gathering some fish to sell, but then they basically gather all these arrows to sell to the blacksmiths. Because they're definitely taking a lot to their boats, you know. Oh, the score disappeared. There we go. Thank you, reminder. So Archer ship at least out. Beasty is now going to react now with a Springald. He did go for the Kremlin, so his eco is protected, right? There's not going to be any early feudal raids at all from PuppyPaw. He's going to have to wait until Castle. I mean, he can try with Shinobi if Beasty gets far enough away from the Kremlin, like this deep. It's going to be awkward to kind of sense that timing early, though. And yeah, we actually have got hunt cameras coming in. 33 as well. I mean, he's only tier 1 bounty, I want to say, right? Like, I don't think he hit tier 2. Wait. Okay, I'm sorry. How are we 7 minutes into a Roost game and there's still a deer pack left? Rogan? I'm pretty sure, like, I mean, that's illegal. Ask any Roost spammer. Where's Blige when you need him? Like, that shouldn't be allowed. I can't believe there's still deer alive. Neither player. And remember, these guys are, like, top 3. But they're so distracted by everything else happening, no one even bothered with the deer. Yeah, you gotta be really careful when Vortex tells you Civ is OP. Do I need to remind people about his tier list where you put OOTD as S tier? And I think that was that not around Elite Classic? Sorry, Vortex. I hate to do it to you, buddy, but we have to talk about that one. Wait, Beasty. Oh, this is such a nice guy. He's patrolling to bring the village. Wait a second, that's not one of mine. Oh, can he actually get the kill? No, mathematically, no. Close, but no cigar. If there was a way that you could pull the other one out of range for an attack, he would have been able to take down both. So really good trade there, right? Beasty just spent 20 food to get rid of 120. Beasty now on the move. 3 scroll ships and a demo coming in. Remember, using demos of the Roost is really difficult. Your hitboxes are bigger. You tend to hit up against your own ships more. You get hit by more archer ships. Demos. Ooh, PuppyPaw keeps his alive. That's actually big. So you can repair that over time. Shinobi could get the Shinshin in. Oh, no. He was too late, though. PuppyPaw, if he'd done that sooner, could have been a cool denial of vision and also sheep if it comes down to it later on. I don't know. I'm just going to say, I feel like I'm never impressed by the Shinshin plays. The only person who impressed me with their Shinshin plays so far in COB AoE is Lash. When he done that double blink glitch that we still don't know why it triggers. I'm curious, actually, if any other pros in my chat had that recently. There is a bug, and I'm not sure how you replicate it, where Shinshin can be used twice. It was a game on 4 legs. So he blinked, and then it blinked again. Give clip. I don't know if the clip still exists. I don't know if someone clipped it. I don't know. I'm going to judge chat. You guys got to remember to clip when broken things happen. I'm pretty sure it got clipped. I think Faplop clipped it. It was a few weeks ago. Thank you, Faplop. Dude, I knew it was him. It's legit a thing. I'll show it at the end of this game. It's insane. PuppyPaw taking a very defensive format. So he's looking for castle, right? Like, this is very defensive. If you were trying... I mean, you could argue it's worth trying to poke if you're trying to go castle, but outpost going up as well. I think that is where we're trending. Shinobi count at 2 as well. Beasty has prepped the stables, though, and this is where Shinobi can start to look a bit funky. Beasty... I think this is one of the phases where Roost feels a bit weird, right? Because, like, if your plan now is to try brute force your way in, your demo ships are really unwieldy. Like, later in the game when you have enough resource to pump 12, you don't care. But when you've got, like, between 2 and 6, and your hitbox is this big compared to this big, right? Like, look at the difference in size, guys. I don't like to be the person size shaming, but, you know, person they tell you not to worry about, etc., right? Like, the difference in size is insane. It's so much harder to get in with these Roost boomers. Beasty unfortunately whiffed on that one. Damage being done in return. Beasty, Harren retreat towards the fishing. A lot of exposed fishing here as well. Remember, he wants to spread wide, right? And he wants to sit there at all times. Now the sails does get used very early by Beasty. Our ship slightly baited out of position. More demos need to arrive soon. PuppyPaw was trying to patrol along the coast, unable to get in. And Beasty on point with the micro forward. Sticking on top of the target. A lot of injured ships here, but PuppyPaw not targeting them down. Demo is now arriving from both sides. Archer ships, very low. Oh, missed micro there by Beasty. A little bit distracted. Does have 2 more archer ships behind, though. PuppyPaw, looks like at some point he did lose to Shinobi. Demos are now creeping up the shoreline. For now, the lead sticks with Beasty, but without galleys, he needs to reset. No archer ships equal no play time. That does mean a little bit of fishing might get exposed here. Demos. Moving in. Big pump coming through. Denial ship in. Heavy damage done. Archers need to clean that up fast. Good hold there. And good counterattack now. Demos in control again for PuppyPaw. Beasty, he's got plenty of archer ships, but no explosive ships of his own. Nice micro there. Concaves around the fishing boat, gets the demo snipe out. Beasty starting to give over a lot of territory. The problem here, though, is PuppyPaw, I think he did deny some of the fishing, maybe got one of them, but most of them were able to pull away quick enough here. Land side of things, looks like we've got some defenses coming up, so PuppyPaw aware the horsemen / night raids that can arrive there. Oh, and okay. Beasty didn't have the gold to go anything but horsemen. That's bad. Guys, horsemen get destroyed by shinobi. It's not even close. Knights will beat shinobi, right? Because they've got high base damage. Whereas a shinobi can just kind of stand his ground against horsemen. If you got more horsemen, sure, but the 2-on-2 is not great for him. And PuppyPaw, look at this. He understands that it's not worth how much effort it takes to break the base. Castle Age now on the way. Another kind of issue is you think, okay, they're even military forces. Beasty punishes him for this, right? Beasty can only punish out here. If he dives in here, arrow slits, right? Like, we've got double arrow slits coming. It could be triple soon. Remember, this is what makes Japan insane on Holy Island. They get arrow slits more or less for free, because when they gather gold, they get stone. Nice snipe there, Beasty. Put on his sniper rifle scope. Got that funnel hit out. Man the sails to go in, though. No demo ships. Beasty with the dive. Hulls is now on the way, and PuppyPaw is going to stand his ground. Starts to start a step back. Double arrow slits is starting to pay off here. Beasty needs a big win. Demos could get queued up. One already being prepped as the dive comes in even deeper. Eco starts to get exposed. Archer ships targeted down. Not able to get that second flurry out, though. Demo ship will temporarily reset him. Beasty now coming in with his own. Archers pivot over. Sprint count getting lower. Hulls is in now, remember, so much tanky on the Japanese side. Fishing Eco is exposed, though. PuppyPaw, demos are going to be a problem. Nice micro with the arrow slits there. One more to bleed through would be big if only he could touch. Beasty, has he done enough here? I'm starting to feel a bit skeptical here. Demo ship count looks a little bit too high for the overall military count, right? Like, this is going to be a hold. PuppyPaw has took eco damage, but remember, guys, with the Yoroshiras on land, he could turn this into mass knights. For the time being, Beasty beats him to that punchline. Looks like we actually got some eco damage here, right? I think PuppyPaw did actually kill off a few villagers on land as well as the fishing boats. Beasty, rather, did kill off a few on land as well as the fishing boats. So 12 eco lead now for Beasty. However, firm handshakes. This is the moment where use the first casting player gets to go, I'm still alive. Now you have to do it as well. Beasty starts to save up for Castle Age. PuppyPaw. Yoroshira is now being dropped. He's about to have double Yoroshira, in fact. No, I think Beasty got big on the eco line there. We were distracted by the water fight because that was big. I think about 6 fishing boats, maybe 7 died. That was really well played by Beasty. Like, credit to him. The night raids, I didn't see that coming. We criticized him for not having it earlier. He timed it perfectly. Mwah. Here's the thing. If you kill fishing boats, it's very easily replaceable because fishing boats are cheap and you can build loads of docks. Villages are the lifeline that you can't afford to lose. That samurai are starting to scale up. Beasty about ready to tech up. Monks are moving for the relics, though, so that's going to be a disadvantage for him. And oh, wait, what are we? Now, hold up, son. You live in an optimistic world. Villager is not going to be able to get that aggressive wooden fortress up. And notice that PuppyPaw is not attempting a water assault here. You think that's a bit crazy because he has a big lead here, right? Like, theoretically. But the eco damage done, it's not worth fighting to where Beasty's ready. It's better to fight where he's not. Land. Now samurai start to arrive. Beasty did pull the militia. Nice micro away. Just waiting to the very last moment. So keeping them out samurai in range of the militia. This is where it'd probably be ideal for PuppyPaw to start going towards the back line instead of focusing on the front. Like, all the militia got pulled for the front. Instead, Beasty pushes them away. Spearman now being built into. One relic home for PuppyPaw, soon to be 2 more on the way home. Eco lead is only 5 between them now, so that's the power of the reboom and the fishing, remember. Shinobi are at least denying on the docks a little bit, so stopping that scale point. PuppyPaw is looking for a charge in. We'll club down one of the villagers. Militia should be running out soon. Spearmen are here to replace them, though. Yeah, PuppyPaw, I'm starting to wonder, like, was there a world in which he could have maybe went Rax instead? Probably not due to the Knight's presence, right? So he's kind of forcing him out Samurai. Maybe Onimusha could have worked as well. But Onimusha always feels like it doesn't have as much immediate impact as Mount Samurai. Mount Samurai always feels like a good opener, and then you do Onimusha as a follow-up. Likely here, we're going to be seeing Onimugisha or Samurai as a follow-up. He should have the economy to do that. In the meantime, he has the pressure point. We dive in. Demo ship dodge. Archer ships overextending. Beasty has got 5 of them. Demos will get denied, and now it's Beasty's chance to attack. Archer ships are the blocker. Demos a bit too fat to get through unscathed. One left on each side. Archer ship count for Beasty, not that high. Springle count, definitely not high. PuppyPaw has got the advantage here. Can he exploit it? Raid on land is going to get messy, but oh my god! Beasty didn't realize! He does now! GG gets called. PuppyPaw already 2 up. Oh, dude! I was like, nope, someone don't make sense here. Check on land again. That first gold vein gone, and all of a sudden, NA rise up. PuppyPaw now 2 points on the board. Let's check the eco situation. I am actually curious as well as to how many units he lost villager-wise. Wait, does villager count fishing as well, chat? Do you guys know that? I never double-check on these graphs because it's always BS, but I think if that was all he lost in terms of villages, that's not a lot. Because we were worried about losing too many villages. He lost like what? Is that like 6 to 8 in total, maybe? Yeah, but like but chat. The reason I'm bringing this up is because people thought that he lost a lot of village and land. He did lose some, but a decent chunk of it was fishing as well. You just didn't notice at first because the fishing was layered inside the fleet that was attacking. Beasty almost took out the fishing much quicker because he shot archer shots, but then lost 2 boats and then had to retreat. Do gremlins auto-tech up if they are already spawned? That's a good question. I'm trying to remember now. I think they don't, but someone can correct me if I'm wrong on that. Obviously, the Shinobi do, but I can't remember if the Kremlins spawned already tech up. I think it's only freshly spawned ones. Wait, they do, Krakeny? Okay, I wasn't sure on that one. I know Shinobi do, but I thought maybe Gremlins got treated different. Okay, that to me makes Gremlins way too forgivable to screw up with. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's the type of unit I would expect to not just get teched up for free. Alright, so let's mark off Rus and Japanese. And we're about to have Byzantines versus Malians. On coastal. Is this like a good matchup for Malians? I kind of feel like this is a decent one for Malians, right? I mean, Byzantines will just fast castle, they'll build longbows and go, right? But like this map in particular. I think on this particular map, it can be decent for Malians, right? Because usually you get like a safe gold. Yeah, dude, like that's really safe gold. Alright, let's find out. You guys ready? Hype it up! Game number 3. Well, you can tell PuppyPaw has been playing and scrimming with a certain someone, right? You can tell PuppyPaw has been screaming Marine Lord. This is an ML spawn. Back berries, back gold, back basically everything for the Malian player. And already he's 2 points up. PuppyPaw, NA has risen up to crush the Serbs' dreams. Beasty, trailing in this series, needs a recovery arc fast. He goes to where all people go when the elo sinks. When the world becomes dark and everything feels like a loss. Byzantines that know no losses. Unless they're in a mirror. Third game, folks. Remember, $150 on the line. Whoever wins this series takes it all. There is no second place. You get $50. No, it all just goes into one pocket. So far, it's looking like PuppyPaw is going to make himself a quick buck. Marlians versus Byzantines. I was just saying, I feel like on Coastal Cliffs of the right spawn, this is a pretty good map for Marlians. Apparently, Beasty was feeling the same way, according to what I'm hearing from chat. Curious to see how he's going to pivot to address that. I feel like in this matchup, you don't want to be going javelins, right? It's kind of the case in most of the matchups where Byzantines have the unit that the other civ has. The building it feels bad because you can get outnumbered, right? I think English Lombos maybe a little bit different, but definitely in the Marlian Jav spam, you'll always lose that number, right? You could, in theory, build archers and Javs. I don't mind that idea, but I feel like it's still one where you're just going to get outmassed. Realistically, BC's either looking at Lombos to hunker down and defend, which means you're letting Marlians boom for free, or could we potentially see a Keshik player is what I'm thinking. Keshiks are very underutilized by the Byzantines, but usually for a good reason. It's, of all the units in Feudal Age, it's the one that can get counted most easily. And then the other issue you have is, like, the contract doesn't scale very well. The Keshiks as a unit doesn't feel good going, compared to the others at least, going from Feudal to Castle, because, like, having massive Keshiks is much harder, and thus the veteran seed pays off worse. And then the transition point to Gulums feels bad because you already have Varangian, so you don't really need Gulums as well. So you're basically, like, the other thing that I hate about Keshiks is if you build Keshiks, not only can you be countered in that age by spears, but then your opponent can go crossbows to counter, and then anything else you build inherently as the Byzantines is countered by crossbows. So probably Lombos or Javs to keep flexibility. Limitade can do well against Javs, yes. But usually the idea is you target the Javs on the other side, right? Because, like, there should be limited numbers for the Byzantines. Then the argument is, what's better, Donzos or Limitane? I actually haven't tested that. Has anyone thoroughly tested just that in a vacuum? Because I feel like they're very closely matched, right? They're both premium spearmen for different reasons. Donzos do have the +1 melee armor. But the Limitane have 10 extra health, if I remember correctly. But I'm pretty sure the 1 armor is more effective HP than the health, right? Because, like, you hit for, 8 damage? And it's 80 versus 90 health, that sort of thing. So, like, realistically, yeah, 10 extra health, like, the 1 armor should equal out to the same or slightly better. Oh, it's definitely, I agree. The shield wall matters a lot, but, like, I think realistically, PuppyPaw should just build enough Javs to counter the enemy Javs, and then you scale Donzos. Oh, I guess we'll find out soon. Tech Up's about to complete. It's going to be Grand Winery as is standard. Love the fact that Beasty went for the 1 Olive Grove opening. This is like a signature move of PuppyPaw's, right? I think he was the first player at the pro level to start doing it with the 1-2 Groves. Him and his bro discovered it. And everyone's kind of followed suit since. It's kind of crazy as well, because I think, like, getting into the series, a lot of people felt that Beasty had an almost perfect draft. But to look now and see him 3rd game in, 2 games down, I mean, you know, I don't think you can say, oh, that Beasty played wrong. It's more PuppyPaw just playing great. I have seen some interesting builds of Byzantines where you literally just build mass archers, and then you build either Javs or Lombos behind. I don't think you do it in this type of game because Javelins love being against ranged units. Then again, I mean, I literally watched a Byzantine player do that against Delhi, and it worked. So, you know. Delhi who mass Ghazi were losing to mass range. So it's kind of a weird one. But presumably is going to be Limitane plus... What? Oh, dude, this is Lombo then, right? There's no way you run Jav Horseman, right? Jav Horseman has to be the least seen combo I can think of. Outside of Keshik territory, right? But we are indeed getting stables. Oh, this is classic Beasty. Beasty's basically playing this matchup as if he's playing a Delhi. And what I mean by that is it's all about raiding the houses, right? He wants to burn the pit mines. Oh, he has scouted though, right? What? Bruh, you're making this choice based on a single gold vein. I can't believe that. I don't know if this works when both the gold veins are like this. He's assuming he can do this because it's, like, stretched on the left. I mean, even this feels questionable because if PupPaw ever pushes you back once, he can wall it off and you're just done, right? But, like, overall, this is I think this is tricky to make mass horsemen work on. Well, Merc House now being dropped. It will be the moment of truth. The most standard is going to be Lombo Horseman. I feel like he needs to play with some urgency, though, so that might just push him into Jav territory. But realistically, like, if you expect this to be spears, like, you need to be going longbows, right? Or your Javs just don't clear quick enough. That's another reason why typically people go longbows with the horsemen, is like the horsemen just feel irrelevant if you can't clear quick enough, and there you go. Yeah, it is going to be longbows. That also allows you to stay out of range of the javelins, so you can poke at the donzos, and then your horsemen are always there as like a stoic no to the javelin mass. What a cool build. Not often you see horsemen opening like this. I mean, dude, like, this is the problem. When you go for a strat like this, you need every piece of info. And Beasty kind of done himself dirty when he stopped at this. Because, like, you just need to do the maps, right? Because there's always the same number of gold veins on this map. And someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's 4 per player. So, like, if you've ran across the rest of the map, which he had, it's like in hindsight, right? Like, but in the moment, I'm pretty sure, from what I remember, Coastal Cliffs always spawns 8 gold veins in a 1v1. So, like, you come over here, and you've only counted 6. Mathematically, something doesn't add up, right? But Beasty, apparently, when he could only see everything but this part of the map, didn't expect to find 2 gold veins like this. So Scout is down. PuppyPaw is a little bit blind now. This is what I think I hate about Marlins so much, by the way, is like, out of all the civs that just don't care, like, Marlins is up there, right? Because their goal is stay in your base and be greedy. I love this idea by Beasty, though. He needs to get some sort of edge, and he's looking at workers. Explorator has just got tagged. Horseman diving coming in. Now, that is peculiar. Beasty prioritized the Steeled Arrow over the Undermesh. By the way, I'm not 100% sold about Explorators in this comp. The problem with Explorators when you run Horsemen plus Lombos, Lombos are a premium killer. They're more likely to get the final hit on a villager. And with the current version of Horsemen, I'm saying current as if they're going to change it. I really wish they would. Explorators only triggers if they get the final hit. I personally think Explorators needs to be buffed. And I know people don't want to hear that because Byzantine's OP. But realistically, Explorators does need to be buffed. The issue with Explorators is it should mark a villager or a worker unit with a debuff. All that debuff should do is in the event that it dies in the next X seconds, the player who debuffed it gets gold. That makes Explorators very reasonable. Without it, it's terrible. Alright, that guy walked in the wrong neighborhood. We talked about those walls. They have now gone up. PuppyPaw is feeling very content right now. Beasty is going to have to roll soon. We even have Trapezites on the way. So at this point, Beasty is just basically showing you how broken Grand Winery is, that he's built a Hippodrome build with Grand Winery. Trapezites does pay for itself pretty quick, right? Because it's a 25% increase on the torch damage of all units nearby. So if you're looking to torch buildings, you only need 4 for it to have been worth the tech. Because the tech's 80 resources, a horseman extra would be 120, right? It's like, you know, as long as you're spamming horsemen with it and you're looking to target buildings, the moment you have 4 horsemen, it's paid for itself. Usually, like, the dynamics of AoE 4 aren't that simple because your goal isn't just to attack buildings. But that is the point where you can start looking at it. And considering he's 10 horsemen deep, makes a lot of sense. The problem is, I don't know if you're going to get to touch it long enough. It's kind of like PuppyPaw's left this somewhat open so that you come here intentionally, right? Because he's partially walled in the center, and he can guard on the east side. PuppyPaw continues to try to poke here. Beasty's just looking to tech up. Okay, so Castle Age, congrats, you've now built 10 horsemen, and if we're being totally real about horsemen, folks, they are terrible in Castle Age. There is not a worse point in the game to have to build horsemen in like 90% of games right now. Right? Like if you had a refund button to just get Varangian, better in Castle than in Feudal. But compared to the alternative, right, Crackety? Like, if you could go back in time and had just built Varangian instead, would you have chosen that option? Right? I guess, like, that changed the dynamics of the game. But, like, this is the point. It's like, these horsemen... I don't think they're going to be able to do much in this game other than raid. So probably Beasty's looking to, what? Bring in Varangian with longbows, draw the main army out, and then the horsemen can break through the walls. Which Trapezites will let them do really quickly. That's true, Crackety. That's a fair point. Especially with Expillatores, right? Because their base damage goes up to 12, so they're hitting for 14. And then I think at that point, like, I mean, the melee tech doesn't really matter. It won't make a difference to the amount of strikes. But you basically kill villagers in 5 strikes, right? Actually, yeah, no, it would be less if you get the melee tech. It's not a bad idea. He hasn't vetted him up yet. Although he is going to catch the tech up. PuppyPaw needs to protect himself here. Jabs and Donzos are going to march forward. I don't think he got anything there. No, not a single kill. Beasty will find his way out the other side. But behind this, look at what he's doing. A gluttonous boy is looking to get gluttonous. Monks now on the way out for the relics. Now horseman count so low. Not likely they're going to get more done here. They did at least achieve a little bit of idle time, but economically, PapyPoo does quite well now, right? You have at least got the farms on the other side, but the count is at 3. All right, you haven't got the farms on the other side. I mean, there is the nice buff, right? You've got the irrigation giving 14% extra gathering, so that kind of offsets a lot of the issue. But you're talking about Mansa, double pit mine, and now the absurd Lani. Like, you know, the full Fulani is insane. I think he has got room for another ranch here. But overall, his food income is going to be booming. Musafadi now being queued up. Perfect answer to the Varangian. Beasty is going to need Lansknecht. This is the point where Byzantines have an opportunity if they can find the olive oil for Lansk, by the way. Because Lansk will melt Musafadi. But it is a big ask from his current position. He has 3 farms in total. Not a single one more. And the relics, he actually... Oh my god, he hasn't got one home yet. Well, he's bringing the central one, but the bigger problem here is if you camp over here, you block 2 relics. Who needs Trapezites? Just get more Zerglings. Donzos peel off. Lombos will be there to answer, though. PuppyPaw. Ooh, his hesitance to go in actually may be Beasty's reward here. Monk is going to be seen a little bit too late. He will die, but the relic is behind the wall. That's now 3 relics in Beasty territory. Pincher coming in. Varangian from the south and the west. Jabs need to leave. Musafadi aren't ready to fight yet. PuppyPaw sees it and reacts with sofas. So this is pretty cool, actually, because Beasty... We talked at the start of the game. There's a lot of theory crafting going around. We had a few players in chat. Limitane came up a lot. Limitane haven't made an appearance whatsoever. Apart from this guy. I don't know what Johnny's doing here. If PuppyPaw hides the sofa count until it's like 12 to 15, you could just see a backbreaker fight. PuppyPaw might actually have enough time for exactly that. 5 more in queue, 3 already out. This army from Beasty far too slow, right? Both the Varangian and Lombos move slower than the entirety of PuppyPaw's comp. 1.25 base move speed versus a 1.12. Sofas are starting to peel. An interesting choice, considering he should be looking for the main fight. Almost looks like he's trying to target the economy instead, knowing that there are walls up. Definitely what I'd call an optimal decision here from PuppyPaw. This feels a little bit problematic, guys. Like this, you're going to waste time with these units, and that's going to reveal the transition. Beasty, in the meantime, has got teardrop shields on the way. More Sofa being scaled into has now been revealed. Diving is unfortunately going to discover that walls can be rebuilt. So to the Lansknecht point before, Lansk isn't the option that you should be going for now, Gully, because the Sofa mass, right? Like, there is Musafadi coming, but Sofas need to be addressed first. You could full switch Limitane and Lansknecht, but if Beasty wants to keep Varangian Pump going, it probably just makes more sense to get Longbow mass up. Well, both attempts are going to be intercepted, so nice push away there. Limitane do get revealed at the very beginning Beasty, 4th relic now coming home. We also have the obnoxious Mangonel placements in. Clash is going to take place though. PuppyPaw trying to stick it to him, but the Lombo Mass is insanely huge here. Sofa's almost just getting one hit. Even with the +2 armor, it doesn't seem to matter. They don't have imported armor on top of that. Well, LOL's going to come out. We'll intercept the other Sofa. Lombo's now able to contest against the Javelin count. PuppyPaw is on the move. But Beastyqt, still with this Lombo Mass, looking very hard to dent. Lombo's going to start step back. Monk is still being targeted, so at least one relic is going to be denied out. But PuppyPaw needs more, and he needs it now. Sofa dives in. Nas Musafadi frontline, and that's kind of worse. Jabs are at least tickling away at this, nibbling at the heels. So Beastyqt starting to lose that backline mass. But behind this, he has massed quite the quantity of goodies. 4 relics in the base. Farms are now set up. The Mercenary Pump can escalate from here. Oof. I think PuppyPaw kind of needs a break-in soon, right? Either that or he needs to scale eco himself. He is gathering stone on the back. I'm wondering if we're looking at a keep drop on a Sacred Sites or a TC. I could kind of see TC making sense, weirdly enough, but that does feel like it plays slow into the Byzantines' hands. Yeah, premature GGs is quite an interesting thing in the scene. PuppyPaw is getting baited more into Musafadi. I think the Sofas are just still kind of unanswered for Beasty. The problem is PuppyPaw is kind of jumping in before he's ready. And I think that's now because of the eco-inflation at this point, right? Like, Beasty has an insane amount of farms up. We're at what, 20? 22. PuppyPaw, I think we're about to hit the moment of truth here. He's got enough stone if it's going to be a TC drop. He's missing the wood, though. Continued gathering suggests we are looking at keep drops coming in, though. So what? Probably a keep drop on the north side, secure the stone, south side keep as well. Does that do enough here? I mean, you're going to be 20 minutes in the game by the time that starts. Like, Sacred Site locked by, what, 22 minutes ambitiously? So 32-minute finish time if you hold it. 32 minutes into a game, Byzantines can be Imperial Age. No problem. PuppyPaw. We are getting more and more Sofas, but like it's come so slow at this stage. The Limitane count is starting to respect it. The land stack being trickled in is what always worries me about Byzantines in these later phases of the games when you're playing against flood types. Let's say PuppyPaw rushes Musafadi on the flank, right? 40 of them to burn down a wall. Let's say 6 Lance Nectar in range and all cleave once. Remember, when you use torches, your hitboxes disappear, so you get very close, obnoxiously close. Well, don't disappear, but they get very small, right? So there's like a real risk that you just lose an entire army to 6 Lansk. So we have got the burn through attempts. Unfortunately, Beasty's ready. Maybe not ready enough. The Stonewall's not up. Uh-oh. Beasty has to come home. Lombo's Rangin now on the move. The breakthrough is going to occur, though, and PuppyPaw is in. The Monk is going to give his life for nothing. The villagers haven't moved away. The Javelins are getting a bit dented on the palisade walls. He keeps it open, and now he marches north. I can't believe this. PuppyPaw is doing the flood. This is classic Zergling logic 101. Right? Like, why fight them in one place when you can fight them in 7? Anyone who's been playing against Wasps and Battle Aces at the moment knows this feeling. What Marlins do at this stage in the game is kind of like that. They dance around you, they come at multiple angles, they just kind of overwhelm you and understand that at one point you're going to be too weak. To find out if they are too weak here, though, because it looks like we've got a split off of troops to the backside. That has been scouted out. Beasty perfectly read it. Mango Tower is in place here. Lombos are going to stand their ground, and PuppyPaw cannot break through. East side is going to be a flop, and we might now have a decisive moment in the game. Beasty's mass is getting too big. I just don't know where PuppyPaw goes, right? Like on a standard dry Arabia, the map is wider. On coastal cliffs, you're more funneled. Mustafadi will at least find their way down to some eco. Mid-map, we have now got keep drops coming. So PuppyPaw makes his intent known. Now, this is interesting, guys. Mango's in this matchup now. He can force Beasty to commit to an objective. And if you can do that, Mangoes can actually get value because you have to walk into them. Problem is, it's only one sacred site, right? It's not like a double cap, double keep drop at the same time, where now Beasty has to rush to react. He's going to have some breathing room, he's going to have some time. He does still have a phenomenal military lead here. Well, Limitane on the way. It looks like the Sofa count is getting a little bit threatening. Well, PuppyPaw realistically shouldn't have a world in which he can go imp here. Not anytime soon. This is quite a bad situation for Malians, by the way. Even though they're building their premium cav, which really isn't a real premium cav, it's like premium compared to infantry. The reality is that Malians are a Zerg Civ. They require mass. Right now, they do not have mass. Beasty's army size is absurd here. Mango reveals on the worst possible unit. That's going to force the commitment. Frangian are leaking in, though. May not have enough damage. Mango trying to dive deeper for the hit on the Lombos. Beasty slowing the reaction, but Mango down. And PuppyPaw may be out. Second Mango's crawling up. Not much of a front line to protect here, though. Leak-throughs on all locations. Mango needs a lot more than that. One shot is not going to do it. Limitane flood in, and that is going to be a loss of the siege. And a GG out. Beasty finally on the board. Woo. Yeah, that's rough, man. That was really well played by Beasty. I think the opening was not ideal. Like, the Horsemen just really didn't feel like they got value. But the weird part to me is, like, I don't know. I felt as if PuppyPaw was focused on raiding at a point where he probably should have been taking the main fight. Like, when he peeled troops to go west, he should have been looking to wrap with the Sofas and then take the main fight very cleanly. That probably would have been his best opportunity to kind of turn that. When he chose to raid and just kind of played this Benny Hills game on such a thin map, it was just playing more and more into Beasty's hand. So, really well played by Beasty to just play the style he's renowned for, right? The defensive comp. Sofa plus Poison Archers. I don't think Poison Archers is the issue. I think, like, maybe later on, but I think initially the Sofa mass just... When you make a transition, you want its revelation to do something, right? Like, you know, if you're going to scale into 15 Sofas, or let's say you're going to scale into 30 Donzos, right? You don't want your opponent to know you're doing it and be like, I'm going to build Archers because you've got Donzos, or I'm going to build Limitan, in this case you've got Sofas. But what we ended up having is, like, PuppyPaw revealed 2 Sofas in the main fight, and then the small group went west and wasted time burning a wall. And I feel like at that point, had he just backed up a little bit, allowed Beasty to walk into the gold mine, by then you're probably looking at, what, 12 Sofas? Which isn't too bad with, like, the javelins and everything else behind it. Like, because he eventually inevitably takes the fight anyway, right? The big fight on the east side. If you're going to go for that fight anyway, you might as well have everything punching behind it. But I feel like, in the end, Beasty was allowed to get way too many longbows out of there in the aftermath. And it put him ahead. Alright, so let's have a look at what we're going to be doing for game number 4. Oh, let's do a Give Aces giveaway. Exclamation mark Give Aces or give away a key in like 15 seconds, guys. I'm still dying, by the way. Oh, I'm going to have to open the door. It's getting so hot in here, but I know it's not really, really hot in here. It's just I'm getting hot. Oh. Oh. Yeah, I'm curious, because we've got like a few pros in chat. Do you guys think that is Byzantine favored? Because, like, what was it? BC was feeling it was Malian favored. What did you think of the Horseman opening? Because I'm always curious on that. I feel like he got baited, right? Like, the spawn didn't make sense for the Horseman opening at all. That was, like, really rough for him. Alright, we've got Chinese Abbasis next. So we're probably going to, what? 4 legs? That should be 4 legs. It could be Hillendale, but I think it's 4 legs. Hillendale's weird because then it's just a TC boom, and I feel like Abbasid's quite like that. Alright, I'm going to roll the giveaway. Stop Bullying 69. There we go. Congrats to Stop Bullying, who has been giving people 69s to stop bullying. You are a legend, mate. Congrats. Make yourself known so you can claim your key. There you go, buddy. First time chatter as well. Hopefully long time viewer. Enjoy, bud. It is me. Vamos. Alright, so they're in game now. Let's see, was I right? Is it 4 lakes? It has to be 4 lakes. Flood? What? Dude, that's weird. That's so weird. Like, can I, like, pro check in chat? Does this seem like a weird matchup on floodplains to you? What else did they have? Like, so, I mean, you had Mongols on one player. The other player had English. This seems weird to me. English and Zhone. You think ABBA's not surprising when you've still got to play 4 lakes and you've got Zhone or English as alternative options here? Beasty had Juji, Mongols, Delhi. I think Delhi's is kind of slept on this map, weirdly enough. English final 4 lakes? Yeah, I think they're better here though, right? They feel really good here. ABBA's very nice. All right. Let's find out. Yeah, definitely a little bit surprised with 4 lakes still in the field, but Beasty heads into floodplains with the Chinese pick after getting a point back on the board. PuppyPaw, in Baltin's own words, ABBA is very nice for this map. I'm not going to put a Swedish accent on to insult him as I say that. He's a lovely dude. But this is cool, man. I think Floodplains was one of my biggest disappointments from Master of Realms. Just a very underrepresented map. Barely picked by anyone whatsoever. I think it finished in either... I don't think it was bitter last. I think it was second to last. Yeah. Migration was the least played. And then the 2 next least played were Floodplain and Holy Island. Holy Island was kind of surprising, but Floodplain was the big shock. I thought more people would experiment. But an interesting map. For those who are unfamiliar, this is basically what a water map looks like when there's no fishing. So now you might go, okay, so you don't build water. No. Warned about it, and players discovered it very quickly. Building water units is actually what you want to do on this map, because they are very strong, right? Like an archer ship is better than building the same resources worth of archers, because it has mobility, it has good DPS, and it also has the ability to heal, which normal archers wouldn't have. So overall, like in a lot of ways, the boat side of things just feels more impactful here, even if you don't have the fishing eco to justify it. But Chinese versus Abbasids is quite intriguing. Abbasids do have the 3 units that allow them to get into a ram play early, and ram plays are bloody obnoxious. Right? The logic is actually if your opponent builds an archer ship and you were to build a ram instead, it's better for you because the ram is uncounted. Right? What's he going to do with an archer ship? Do 6 damage every 2 seconds? Great. Well, sorry, 5 damage every 2 seconds? Great. On a ram that has well over 200 HP, it's going to take you too long to kill. So I wonder if PuppyPaw is just going to look to send it with the troops straight in, poke at the eco on land, and then go for some sort of blocker against docks. Beasty has to be aware of that in this matchup, though. Does he choose to go the traditional route with the Chinese? Could we be looking at your good old-fashioned 2TC song? Definitely not with that many sheep. I hope. Yeah, not a great start here. Only 6 sheep. On the other side, we've got 8. Now, pros will correct me if I'm wrong with this, because I didn't do enough spawn checks to know for sure, but I'm pretty sure... Right, that's some ML spawn logic. I'm pretty sure for the most, Floodplains has less sheep than a standard map. And what is up, Artesian? Thank you for the Prime sub. Remember, guys, if you have got Prime subs, I appreciate them. It helps justify all the endless hours of stream we put into Age of Empires 4 and make sure you guys don't have to worry about the ads along the way. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's less sheep on this map, though. That's kind of rough, no? If you're a Civ that relies on staying kind of compact, safe in your base, like the Chinese, that puts you more at risk. We have got a Barbican coming up first, though, from Beasty. So, anticipating the attack. Now, what's interesting is PuppyPaw has set up that dock in the corner. We will be looking at trade. And it is going to pay off real quick. This is pretty smart. I think we've talked about this on this channel a lot before, like the philosophy of trade and where trade works. If you're against a TC boomy type Civ, that trade is very good. If you're against a Civ that plays defensive and doesn't want to come and attack, trade is very good. Because it forces someone to do something they don't want to, and if they continue to do what they do, which is usually for trying to TC booming, they end up further behind, because trade pays off quicker than TCs. Especially when your Abbasids only pay 75 wood for this. First trade ship queued up. Damn, that's cool. I mean, I've seen a few Civs trade. I think we've seen some Abbasids do some trade. Marlians feels like a really good one for it as well, potentially. I don't think I've seen anyone try. Can you use trade posts with the Malians? I don't think I've ever seen anyone experiment with fishing water trade rather. But I think the trade outposts work for water trade as well, right? Just thinking, because we have seen some Malian picks on floodplains before, and they did look pretty good. I think Anatan in particular made them look very scary. Are trade ships cheaper? I'm pretty sure they're not. No, they're just the 100. It does. Interesting thought for the future then. And PuppyPaw now with the 4 dock. So this has double value. 1, you want to produce boats to attack. 2, to Beasty, this looks like a standard he's going to attack me build. Beasty will now see the trade ships, so at least he gets a heads up. PuppyPaw hasn't traded yet. We don't know the number because he hasn't scouted that area. And that's the bad news for Beasty. He now needs to go and attack. Should you place on the enemy gold? On a map like this, to place on the enemy gold, for a start, it's a back spawn gold, right? It's so risky. People just stop doing that in high-level games, with rare exceptions being like very shrouded maps, like ones that have a lot of stealth for us, because that level of cheese is kind of sensed now. It's very hard to execute, I find. So our ship is going to come out. He's looking for the trade boats now, and there we go. So it's going to be 74 wood and 74 gold each way. One archer ship shouldn't be able to kill a trade ship before it reaches the midway dock, so PuppyPaw should be able to protect himself. Meanwhile, looks like we have got the units around the back, so a little bit of poke coming in that is going to force Beasty to react now with the archer range. Guys, this is actually perfect for PuppyPaw. The reason is that your opponent has now built a production unit for 150 wood. You don't need to do that as well. You could actually build stables, or you could just take that 150 wood and put it into more boats. And I love that. The repair on the drive-through, just to make sure that the trade ship rather, will be full health by the time it comes back. Ooh, that's spicy as well. 4 outposts. He could gather the stone. It's really close to his starting spawn. Looks like archers are chasing, but they'll never be able to catch now. Dow is already on the way, and yeah, Beasty's smart about this. You can't run out blind because you'll get caught coming back. Yeah, 225 health is a lot when you remember it doesn't take bonus damage from like anything that you're going to build in water, right? Because boom ships don't get extra. It's the same logic with transport ships at 400 HP. Like, how do you kill a transport ship with boom ships? You can't. It takes 5 demos to kill a transport ship. For reference here, it would take 3, which is more expensive than a trade ship. Double ship coming out. Beasty. Ooh, 1 archer ship. Shouldn't be able to protect this, but nice hit there. The pivot with the Sprield ship lined up perfectly. If it wasn't for that, it should have been a demo ship on 1 HP connecting. Instead, he survives it. Unable to block the outpost, though. So defense is now up for PuppyPaw. Now, remember, guys, you can actually build walls here, by the way. And walls is really, really effective against these junk ships and whatnot because they'll hit for 1 damage. I don't think we're going to see it. I've yet to see anyone try it, but realistically, if you're trading, you can actually just wall up to protect trade the same way you would on land. It's much more difficult, but it is quite potent. And we've got dock drops coming in. So Beasty trying to contest towards the trade line. 2 demos starting to creep out. Villager on the way, protected. PuppyPaw may have to pause trade for a moment here. He may have been a little bit too greedy, a little bit too fast. Archer ship is going to get pushed back. Bagglers have to back up a little bit. No teak mask yet from PuppyPaw. That's the tech that basically gives you military boot camp on water. Trade ships. Nice pivot round. Remember, you can micro like this. It does work. Thank you very much for the raid, Jesse. Because remember, like, you can just route them around and then re-click them, and they'll still give the same resources. We've seen players do this before. Like, for example, Anatan on land, we had a game we put up on YouTube where he basically had a Mongol trader that started in the north corner, went all the way to the east corner, and then came down the south corner. So you don't lose out on the resources you get. You technically lose out on efficiency, and that it takes longer on the route because you've done that. So voila, there you go. Once again, you just hit the restart trading, and the resources will resume. Next dock up, Beasty getting closer. Now, someone mentioned outpost drops. I think that's a little bit more wonky. You could gather the stone, but I think you'd rather just have military dominance on water, right? Mobile military dominance. Trade ship has to pull away, but once again, restart trading. Touch and paid. Bagler's being chased away here. Demo is going to come in for the contest. Archer ship poking from the south side, though. Will make Beasty think twice. Trade ship does get sacrificed in it all, though, so PuppyPaw caught not looking. Outpost now coming up from Beasty, so he's going to commit to it anyway. Interesting investment. I mean, you've got the villager out here, right? I guess the thought process is you might as well do something. And that explains where the stone's coming from. So he's going to gather for the stone right next to this location. So very long-term investment for one villager. Meanwhile, PuppyPaw has been busy doing other things, guys. He actually did go for land. Horsemen have been added in. Oh, that's kind of wild. Because Beasty doesn't expect it right now, right? Like, I think he's maybe... Where is his scout? Because I feel like he's playing in a way that suggests he's expecting Barbican to reveal everything. So his scout is what? With the main army? No, it's on the other side. Big mistake made. Horseman pounce. Archer advantage now gone. Beasty in a bit of trouble here. He doesn't have to build a spearman, but he might be forced to. Either that or it's going to be shivs out. Either way, it's going to be idle eco and villagers lost. Archer's down. Press on the water. Demo in. Good connect. PuppyPaw has to back away. Villager did get intercepted as well, so denial on dock. And the traffic jam from this dock is hurting him. Meanwhile, on land, though, more pain going the other way. PuppyPaw now finding villager kills and a lot of idle time. Which needs to back up, right? You don't want to come out too far, but they can work, but at the same time, you don't want to be under the TC anymore. The archers should be able to camp here quite freely. Beasty does have problems. Technically, there is a weave around here where you can still catch the eco without going and range the TC. If you snipe this guy here, this is huge, by the way. He doesn't have Imperial Academy, so losing officials hurts a lot. There's a lot of pain coming on water now. Check this. PuppyPaw now with a military lead. Teak Master's in. Guys, this is an insane tech, right? Like, now that he's up at 10 boats, this is an extra 1.5 boats in health. It's not in DPS, sure, but it also means it's much easier to survive demo hits. Teak Master. How the hell did you hear Teeth Master from that? Huh? Is my accent that bad? No, Teak Master, I'm trying to remember what it costs. I think it's like 100, 150 resources or something. It's a unique thing for Abbasids. That's why you've got the plus 45 on the Baglers. Even on the demo ships, it's kind of nuts, right? Because it makes it much harder to just insta-snipe them down. Oh, looks like the Sprinkles did actually cut off these looming troops. Remember, Beasty does have to come out here eventually. There is no fishing, no safety. Song is now online. So we talked about that taxman issue. Beasty has offset it. Quite greedy, though, when you're behind on boats like this. The problem now, though, is PuppyPaw has to dive in towards these outposts. He doesn't know whether there's arrow slits online yet. There should have been, but Beasty looks like he didn't have the gold at the time, even though he definitely had the stone. And that's now going to be revealed. It's queued up, but Baglers are committing. Demo ships leaking in. Nice dodges, but unfortunately not enough there. Tower is down. And the clash can begin. One demo is stuck in there for Beasty. Trade ships are about to resume in the middle of the battle, though. Demo. Oh, wait, what? Beasty. Oh, no, he missed. He missed microed. He pushed it forward by accident. He didn't mean to do that. He's got no hold against the mass Baglers now. He needs to queue more demos. PuppyPaw feeling confident, starts to push in. Still two archer ships to work with. Demo not able to skirt it. But raw health-wise, PuppyPaw is pushing. Beasty now behind by 4 of these Springled ships. Archer ship is frontlining. That might be a mistake from PuppyPaw. Demo should be coming in soon. However, it came all the way back from south. Could this be the right timing? PuppyPaw maybe slightly overextended. Does see it. Archer ship's moving forward now. Baits his opponent out of position, though. Beasty getting in deeper. Archer ships looking for it. Spring will start to clip it as well. Demo down to half HP. Beasty barely holding on. Push comes to shove. Can he push back? Unfortunately not. Demo does not connect. Beasty now falling behind. He's catching up a little bit on the Spring count, but the Archer ship count, the demos could be the difference now for PuppyPaw. Needs to respect the dock. You never know what's coming out there. But he has regained territory for trade to resume. Pressure point continues. That dock could end up griefing him, remember. It's very hard to get in and around it with the right ships. Archer ship is going to dive past. Mostly ignored. Demo. Now free to go, though. Beasty, only one archer ship here. Double demo pushing in. Nice micro to get rid of one. Second one will be a connect, though. Could be a big one. Only gets a single ship. PuppyPaw, quick to back away. You saw that timing, right? Dove when he saw this ship spawn. Backs away when another one potentially comes. It's just so obnoxious how much work Teakmask does. I feel it's the type of tech that you look at and you think, yeah, whatever. But when you see it in action, the differences it's making on health, right? Like, you're effectively just allowing these units to exist for 15% longer, right? When you say it like that, when you remember it's a 35 damage unit, when you remember the difference that a lot of these units make, it really is what can decide these type of engagements. Double demo pool coming in. Triple down behind this means good luck with that. Beasty now looking shriveled up and small. 5 to 12. And a miss micro there. Any miss micro is too much here. You're not leading by a big eco amount here. Only 2 villages ahead, right? The worker lead is being offset by the traders that should be being built in again soon. I think they haven't come out yet. Instead, PuppyPaw choosing to just pressure. Demos not able to get in. Beasty's running out of runway here. Has got the Bagler. That should keep PuppyPaw at bay. A lot of gold gathering on the front line, by the way. Ambitious, but working so far. Archers are trying to sneak through, but nice patrol. That's kind of the crazy thing, right? Like, PuppyPaw's military lead isn't fully here. Some of it's kind of skirting different locations. Now we are going to have to clean up the dock. So PuppyPaw just trying to be systematic about this. Sweep the map, choke him out. Beasty at least doesn't have to worry about land raids for now. A little bit of poke coming in here. One villager going down. So Beasty now behind on raw eco. A lot of injured ships for PuppyPaw though. Like he needs to kind of camp near docks and take fights near docks or build additional docks here. That's the liability, right? It's like the reason these numbers keep favoring PuppyPaw is after the fights, he has got a lead. He is like, 6 boats ahead. However, from a percentile situation of how many boats ahead he is, it's more like 1.5 because of the health bars. PuppyPaw now, oh my god. What? The read on this. He knows where the attack is coming. He's going to look to wall himself in. Unfortunately, he's going to wall some villagers out. Ooh, oh no. Okay, that's kind of expensive. PuppyPaw, 3 villagers going down. The gate is... No, please don't build the gate. PuppyPaw, please. Oh, God. Can he find some in return, though? So push onto the goal, but that's already been retreated from. 2 more villagers go down. PuppyPaw losing his eco lead. Beasty, though, in return, losing more map control. Now, the demos, I don't think they were revealed. They are not going to kill buildings quickly. It's going to take 3 of them to take down a palisade. Which, yes, it's not a good trade. If that wasn't obvious already, it's a really bad bloody trade. And ships can go for gates, yes. I can't remember, was there a time when they couldn't? I think there was a time where like there might have been hitbox issues, but I'm pretty sure that all got resolved. Not sure about Bouch ones. I don't want to fat shame them, but they might be a bit too chunky. Demos. Now looking to deal with the chunk that PuppyPaw has. Gonna be a trade out. Beasty. A little bit slow on the retreat though. Big hit comes in. Can he return fire? Beasty trying to weave his way in here. PuppyPaw taking losses. But the archer ships minimize it. Trade ships now front lining for the team. Has PuppyPaw got enough here? It's a 5 spiral ship lead. Most demos removed from the equation. Dock on the front side coming up from PuppyPaw. Needs to hold this area, but health bars aren't looking great. Junk comes in again, but fails to connect. The demos not able to get that final coup de grace that he needs. Beasty needs to push in further. Demos trying to leak in again. Archer ships to target them down. Needs to get the final one. Gets it just in time. Dock has been denied. But we are approaching healing territory for PuppyPaw. Trade is starting to bulk up. He needs more damage. Beasty sends in another wave. Demo's being targeted down. Needs to start a stepper. One still alive, though. He's going to peel it off to minimize the losses. Demo comes in return, and Beasty at risk. Fleet is small. 6 Springles to 13. PuppyPaw looking to break in. Meanwhile, Beasty breaks off. Sends ships to raid the eco. Demo will not protect in time before the trade ship goes down. Main fight is going to be reset. Those trade ships are protected, but they're still small fries, guys. Only 2 in total for PuppyPaw in this game. Beasty, he's going castle. No wonder we're seeing a very big lead building for PuppyPaw. This might prove to be a problem. PuppyPaw is going to need to end the game, or he might be in trouble, because teching up is not quick for the Ambassadors, remember. It's locked. 1 minute, 45 seconds. That means he's like, what, 2.5, 3 minutes at least away from a tech up. But Beasties is on the way. Clock tower now being built. Could be a solid answer to all of the sea. Remember, Springles will outrange all of these boats. My God, has Beasty done it? I mean, this is a tough situation to find yourself in as the Ambassadors, right? You haven't gone to TC. You weren't able to bulk trade because you got stuck into the fights a bit too much. You need to turn into a boa constrictor on this. You need to siege down all docks and keep Beasty off of water. Then maybe you can consider Horsemen to address the siege and buy enough time. But if this turns into a boat float with siege behind, PuppyPaw's going to be in trouble. Demos from the south. Hesitation sets in, though. Counter Demos could have blocked them out. Armored Hulls is about to complete. Now, that's interesting because it's going to offset the issue around the Teak Mass. In fact, now, it's going to be Beasty with the raw HP advantage. Our ships are going to peel off to the flank. One Demo will creep in. The rest are creeping by. Maybe he can get a good connect here. Good micro for the most. PuppyPaw takes the hit he needs to. Continues the assault. Demos on the backside. Looks like they got taken out before they could do their damage. Beasty should now be on the way across with the first of the anti-siege, which is actually in this game anti-ship. Well, building a lot of archer ships, by the way. 7, soon to be double-digit here. Might be worth actually going in and getting yourself the +1 damage, but I think realistically he's maybe expecting to have to deal with defenses, demos, and siege, in which case +1 from a blacksmith doesn't help. Beasty giving him away. He's in a precarious situation here, folks. Beasty is no longer gathering food on the starting island. If PuppyPaw senses that, if he knows, and I mean, he has scouted the deer pack in the south, right? If he sends down just 1 or 2 archer ships, get himself a decisive lead here. For now, PuppyPaw continues to just scale the age. Instead of investing in a tech up, he invests in more boats. These Spirals can eventually reach the trade, by the way, and they will get bonus damage against them. So, PuppyPaw needs an answer sooner rather than later. Archer ship mass just starting to saturate. Sacred Site is kind of a pain in the ass here. Because you've got too many boats, right? Like, we see this all the time. When your fleet gets too big on this map, it gets a bit clowny, right? This is where quality can win out over quantity. Didn't win out quick enough here, though. Beasty, another dock's going to go down. PuppyPaw just trying to brute force his way into the fight. Unfortunately, that range advantage working against him. The Spiral crews are in. PuppyPaw, he needs demos. It's demos or bust here. Dive in. Gets it. Spirals get found. Anti-siege is down. Beasty up to 10 Spirals, though, with the advantage. Now demos coming in to splinter it up. Deeper and deeper we go. More and more blows. Could this be enough? PuppyPaw maintaining a military lead for now, but close to the docks means close to death. Archer ships are evaporating quickly here. And despite PuppyPaw's best efforts, it feels like it's starting to fall apart. Yeah, I don't know if he's got enough to crack the teeth anymore. Only 5 trading ships behind this. No tech up on the way. Beasty has weathered the storm. Now it's coming with a fury. 2 more Springles queued up. 4 demos in play. I think we've got most of the techs, right? Yeah, the only thing that's missing here is the explosive tech, but I don't think that really matters as much here. Demo ship count back up to 5 for PuppyPaw. This is a do-or-die pump. If you can't kill him with this, you won't kill him. Demo's creeping around the other side, though. Beasty, the first to make the move. Nice dodge. A little bit of grief going on there. PuppyPaw can't release his own demos in time. He's going to buy time, trying to get that count high enough. The funny thing is, the more trade he gets going, the more demo ships he can pump. Remember, trade ships bring wood and gold. Flank attack comes in big. Could get the hit he needs. Beasty slowing the reaction, splits it up a bit. Demo's looking everywhere for any target they can find. But I think the damage is just getting to be too much here. PuppyPaw, despite his best efforts, never quite able to finish the fleet off. Damn, what a game. What a series this is turning into now. I mean, it feels like PuppyPaw should be able to break through on the back of each of these fights, but, you know, the deception of the Chinese economy, right? Like, they've got a lot behind this still. I mean, they are at risk of running out of steam, right? I think the last of the food has been taken, which means technically Beasty can't afford more boats. He can, however, afford more siege. I don't think PuppyPaw realizes it yet either. Yeah, this is the last thing Beasty has. Once these are gone, he's out. He's going to have to make farms. And guys, he doesn't really have the wood to make farms. Oh my god, what a crazy game. I mean, from a efficiency point, like, you know, the whole classic, like, global warming, man, you're going to flood the world, but I'm going to keep it alive. Like, you know, PuppyPaw has a more sustainable policy here, right? Trading is infinite. Whereas Beasty is munching on limited resources. Ergo is getting 20% more, right? Like, which is great. But it is inevitable that it runs out. Demo's not the best at trades! What? PuppyPaw, 6 and 2 downs. And in return, Beasty only uses 3 demos, exactly what he needed. PuppyPaw tries the flank attack, doesn't work out well though. I mean, this is the flailing of a dying man here. The Canadian, after taking such a dominant 2-0 lead, now finds himself at a reset point because Beasty looks poised to take game number 4. Demo pump again. What was that? Micro, the misclick, and now Beasty with the keep drop attempt. The Demos touch this though. The Demos just get a lick of it. Beasty needs to run away quick with the villagers. Demos go in. Clears the fleet. 4 sprills left. No, Beasty, dude, you can't be serious. If one demo touches you here... This is so absurd! He's baiting the demos to choose between killing the sprills or killing the villagers. Another demo comes in. It's too late now. Beasty's got the keep. He's got control. Trade's going to get shut down, and this game is going to come to a close. 2-2. We go deeper. Dude. What a crazy game, man. Oh, it looked like PuppyPaw was on the verge of coming back into that with the lack of resources, right? Like, but oh, you can't fault Beasty, man. He played well into that to get on the recovery arc. I mean, we see why China's just such a damn good civ as well. Like, you know, it's a water map, it's not a water map. So, like, that 20% eco-inflation just feels even better. Once he got the Imperial Academy online, I think was the problem. Once the Imp Academy was up, it felt like, you know, the eco issue started to retract a bit. Oh, man. What a crazy series. I'm trying to think what we call that one. Alright, I think they're setting up for the next one now. I'll do a key giveaway in a sec, guys. Exclamation mark give aces if you want to win a beta key for Battle Aces. Definitely a game I recommend everyone tries. So exclamation mark give aces for that. Let me have a look. What do I call that one? I feel like that's an uploadable game for sure. Like, I don't know. I wonder if people want full series uploaded, but I feel like people don't want full series uploaded. Like, the YouTube trends kind of support that, right? Like, if you just look at EGC's videos and how well they do from a whole series, it suggests that people would rather have something about a particular game uploaded, right? one of the closest water maps we've seen. And it had no fishing. And it had 0 fishing. Maybe. 0 fishing. Remove fishing. Better game. There we go. Yeah, exactly, birds know. It's like it's like a key issue, I think, around the whole idea of like uploading that style, right? People just want clickbaity titles, even when they say they don't want to be clickbait, they do. Alright, so I think they're about to hop in the game. Let's have a look at the draft and see how things are proceeding. So we've got 4 Lakes left, Hillendale left, and then there was one more map. 4 Lakes, Hillendale, and I can't remember the final one. Bridges. PuppyPaw's choice, right? I think you probably go... Do you go 4 Lakes now? English versus what? Delhi? Probably? You could go Hillendale and force Delhi versus either English or Autos. But, like, I'm just, like... If you use English on Hillendale, like, I don't know what you really have for 4 Lakes. Like, can Joan do well on 4 Lakes? I'm not convinced. And then, like, Ottomans on 4 Lakes is... I guess, like, maybe you go for Iraqs and you rush their docks. Let's have a look. They're now hopping in the game. We can find out. All right. It is going to be 4 Lakes and it is going to be the English. And Beasty... What? Dude, this is rough, no? I mean, it's one of Juji's hardest counters on land. It's not a land map, though, right? So maybe that changes things a bit. But, like, what do you do here? Mass Horseman, I guess, could be the way. But English will just, like, condense... Fast castle? I don't know. I think this is going to be a castle age rush, actually. On both sides, right? Let's find out. Juji's hardest counter on a land map. Well, it's a good thing we're actually on a water hybrid then, because we're hopping into 4 Lakes. English in the hands of PuppyPaw. Beastyqt on the aforementioned Juji. Will it prove to be a hard counter here when you add a lot of food behind it? Let's find out, because I've got a feeling we might be looking at a Castle Age race on both sides. Remember, we are now 2-2 in this Best of 7 series, $150 on the line for this show match. Really big shout out to the Historic Alliance Gaming Org, who actually organized this and made it happen. They've been doing the commentary in French. Be sure to check out their channel if you understand French. If you need subtitles to convert French talk, probably hang around the English cast, because we usually do them officially here. So yeah, really cool matchup though. Like there are some different dynamics to think about. Like on land, the way this always used to play out is English would build lombos and Juji would just fall over. But I think, you know, when you put the ponds behind it, it changes the dynamics a little bit. Maybe we see a situation where both sides rush castle. Juji are pretty good at that. Tang Dynasty makes it a more optimal route for them because it's cheaper. And also they produce out their docks quicker to ramp up their fishing. They have the taxman still. The only thing the English really get in this matchup on that line, that trend, is that they, of course, get slightly cheaper fishing boats. But it's only 8 wood difference. I don't think it really makes up what the Juji get in return. Especially if they find a good Medigarden location. I'm wondering how much this is directed with that thought process. I never really thought 4 Lakes as a great map to Meditation Garden. But it's not terrible, right? Like, I think it's a little bit of RNG to get a decent one. But, for example, over here, I think you could get... what, probably 8 berries, gold, and then 2 or 3 berries here, maybe? Not fantastic, not terrible, though. You could just opt for a lot of wood if you just want to double down on the docks. Or I think maybe, you know, sometimes you do get spawns like this. But like I said, this is not consistent, right? Compared to Holy Island, where Juji gets picked a lot. On Juji's pick there, you can quite often get 2 stones, 2 golds, and something else in range. That's not a rare occasion. This map, it definitely feels that way. Oh, should we put predictions in? I forgot to do them on previous games. Oh, did I forget to do the Give Aces giveaway? I'll do 2 after this one. Someone just remind me. I knew we forgot to do something. I'm going to do predictions to make up to you guys in the meantime. So we'll do a double giveaway at the end. All right, 1 minute. Predictions. Get them in now. Because, like, this is a very weird matchup, by the way, folks. I've seen a few players playing English on 4 Lakes, but for the most, it's been reserved for more typical maps like Dry Arabia. Juji, on the other hand, basically just get picked for proper water maps. Juji feels really good on maps where you can test water directly. I very rarely seen them on maps like this. So far, it's going to be a solo pond drop from both players, so perfectly mirrored up to this point. Remember that Beasty tech up will be quicker, by the way, so he might try to make an aggressive move. And the reason his tech up will be quicker, A, it's 15% cheaper with Tang Dynasty. B, get more build speed than China and Juji. I dare you, right? It's impossible. So he might, for example, choose to put the Meditation Garden really close to home just to optimize his tech timing. And actually, to be honest, if you drop it like here, what, you get probably like 35 wood and then probably 48 food? Which isn't too bad, and you don't like waste too much time running. The other side, though, Abbey of Kings on the way. And it's going to be a 9-builder workup. That's a pretty firm investment. So PapyPaw is really fixated on that timing. Is this maybe to block aggressive, or rather greedy Meditation Garden placements? Even if it was, it feels like it's going to be too slow. Yeah, I think he's looking for that target we talked about around here, right? Maybe? He's scanning around right now. You can tell Beasty's looking around to see what the value points are for the Medi Garden. Okay, is that really the best? I don't know, man. I'm wondering. Like, I mean, he's probably checked the values, but it kind of feels like there should be better than that. Frack's on the way as well. Oh my god. Wait, of course. Oh, this is cool. Like, how did I forget it? I mean, wait. Spimmin to begin with, but hear me out. You've got fishing. Could you not just Palace Guard flood this game? Palace Guard usually underperform. A lot of people have been critical about how bad usually Palace Guard are. Usually the thought process is you can't play them long feudal. The best you can do is build a few, go castle. Because you just don't have the raw eco to do it. But on a map like Four Lakes, you have an insane amount of food, right? If you flood Palace Guard, you can just flank attack. And if the English react with men-at-arms spam, they'll just get kited. That's such a cool idea if that's the case. Looks like it's going to be a villager pool. Unlucky for Beasty, though, because PuppyPaw has already blocked off entry points here. What? Okay, this is sick. We've got a proxy archery range play and a meditation garden blocker. And also, just to react to chat there, I do not allow bannings on words that are connectors. Things like the, to, a. Never have, never will. That's when the use of the banning gets dumb. Man, what a cool play, though. Yo, is Dragovan watching? Dude, he's probably like, he's got a smile on his face. His nose is up in the air right now. He's like, I've done this first. Proxy archery range, perfect reaction immediately to the spearman. And now the dock follow-up. Dude, this is so beautiful in the flow. PuppyPaw has a protection arc for the dock drop. And Beasty now reacting with the archer ship far too slowly. Surely. Kiting might actually buy him enough time here. Archer ship is about to come out. So the Juji will be protected. Villager looking like it's going to go down. Second longbow does come out. So actually will keep him alive. Unfortunately, now with the archer ship here, PuppyPaw has a bigger issue getting on the pond. Oh, man. Yeah, these are not ideal trades for Beasty. The Palace Guard follow-up should be capable of clearing this up. As long as you don't rush it, per se. Like, technically, the king should be here. Should really being the key words. But apparently, he's on a mission to scout. What? Okay, so I guess at this point, Red just goes castle then. Like, this play is over, guys. The moment you abandon with the king, this play is over. Your only option now is to rush castle. Looks like instead he's going to queue up more lombos at home. Wait, really? Out of another archery range, right? Okay, yeah, it's got a home archery range. So this should be to defend. This is tough now, though. Because your gold is front spawning, right? So if you get pushed off that, it's kind of GG. Because you won't even be able to build like men-at-arms, right? Undermesh now being queued up. Remember, these Palace Guards they have less ranged armor. So you can actually just shoot in to them pretty hard with the villagers as well. Steel Arrow is on the way. Feels like Red is going to be ready for that. Archer Rangers are being removed. I think Juji could potentially just go for a Castle Rush now. This is reminiscent of the land builds where they build a handful of Palace Guard to repel a move by their opponent, and then they tech up into good Palace Guard, right? So it kind of has that same hit. And we mentioned already, with the amount of food coming in, it's going to hit hard. We also have second pond now being secured on the north side, so docks are going up for the GG. Fishing is already inflated to basically critical on the west side pond. I just don't feel like I felt the impact of this king whatsoever. You know, sometimes just having the king forces a reaction which makes it impactful. You could argue that. There was a lot of spears built, but the reality is the Lombos, they got kind of mopped up on the front side to make it an equal trade. Like, I'd say Beasty's in a reasonable position here. His tech up won't be much later, remember. It's cheaper, and also he techs faster. So, probably looking at a white tower drop on the forward gold then. Which might leave the wood slightly exposed. Shallow Monastery now on the way. So, Juji will look to rush the relics here. And it's a pretty good spawn for it. Overall, maybe the north side is the most exposed. But Lombos aren't a great answer to Shallow Monks, remember. The hardened skin allows them to just gap close. Scout also lost. Right, playing pretty blind game. White Tower is now going to be on the way up, and we talked about this, that it had to be towards the gold, right? That does, however, leave your wood lines more exposed. And because your opponent's teching up as well, has already teched up ahead of you, I mean, we could just see stables drop now, right? Like, it doesn't even need to be Palace Guard per se. It depends which approach he wants to take. Like, do you want to take a raiding approach or an all-in approach? Lancers are more raid-oriented, and it controls the map to allow for relics. Looks more like what we're seeing coming out from the GG here is an all-in towards the enemy base to block their tech up and also force all troops to defend. This could be a big blocker. Palace Guard already castled up. PapyPaw in trouble. You can't mess around with this. It's either a fast tech up or it's dead. He actually might just be dead. Level 2 ranged armor being researched. Beasty looking like he's done it here. I just don't think he has enough to repel this right now. More coming. Lombos are pulling back to try and repel it. PG are going to leak through onto the tree line. But that white tower has seen no progress for the last 20 seconds. It needs to happen now. A-click not working out for the GG here. Needs to die faster. Lombos are now in position for the body blocker. Once again, he dives on in. These delays are hurting, guys. Real bad. English need that tech. White tower now complete. But this will be a crossbow defense. I don't think you can match knights now. Because your opponent, like, he's going to be everywhere too quick. Like, I feel like you have to have crossbows to stop this first before you flood in the cav. It doesn't feel great, but, like, realistically, the alternative is, before you know, your opponent already has 2 stables pumping lancers behind this. Which is realistic at this point in the game with this much fishing. Instead, though, it's going to be Hoover up of relics. 2 already on the way home. 3 more still to be contested. What now? Wait. Is there a world in which the English just go for Imperial? It's starting to look like it. So the Canadian got up, looked at this game, and he was about to type GG, but then he was like, wait a second. What if Imp Rush... What if we just do it with Wingguard and rush out troops? That would be vile. Because remember, if you do Wingguard, you don't need gold for elite statuses. They're already all elite units, right? For the most, right? If you go Wingguard Raiders, you go Wingguard Rangers, they're already there. White Tower should be able to protect you. Like, Palace Guard will not be capable of diving this yet. This is wild. PapyPaw's doing it. He's rushing Imperial Age. This is so unexpected. On the other side of it, just think about what's happening for Mr. Cutie here. He's hoovering up all the relics. He's feeling good about the game. He's logging the sacred sites. Probably expecting a reaction. Instead, there will be no reaction in this age. PuppyPaw goes for a bypass. All right, guys. This is the moment you've all been waiting for. For all of those that have had a boiling hate inside you. Reddit warriors that have been making threads about the English. Molding about it for days, for weeks, for months. This is your moment. If this works, this is the evidence you all submit in your reports. Wingard Palace now on the way. Either an act of derpiness or an act of glory. What is it they say? Everything's stupid unless it works, and then it's genius. PuppyPaw, he's got his scientist coat on. He's slapped on his glasses. He said something in Japanese that I need subtitles to understand. And he's activated Super Anime Mode. Wingard Palace now online. And it is going to be the Wingard Rush. Wingard Raid is queued up. This is so damn smart. He still has to pay for the upgrades, guys. But the reality is he's getting a very quick pump into Knights up against Mass Palace Guard. That is a counter. Beasty should know what this is. Like, there's no way you'd Berkshire here, right? Like, Berkshiring is just a way you lose. Because, like, great, you're Imp, but you don't do anything on the map. So then Beasty will just go chill. He'll go Imp. He'll be fine. Okay, people saying that Raiders are F tier. No. Dude, you have no standing army. If any of you are queuing up Rangers, Footmen, and whatever, you're dead. Like, how can you have 0 army and have gone Wingard from this far behind and build anything but Raiders? Like, you need numbers, man. This is like your Yorishiro drop in Imp. 25 seconds to get 3 Knights and 3 Horsemen. You have a White Tower? Dude, that's like double racks. Your opponent has 23 Palace Guard already. You need more troops. You just need bulk, man. He could realistically be producing out of this as well, I'd agree with that. But you just need units. And up against Palace Guard, this actually is the perfect unit. Right in. Maybe a little bit too soon for the fight, though. Numbers aren't exactly in his favor, but the quality is. And also, the fixation on the villager might be a problem for Beasty. Wait. Oh, no. PuppyPaw. He screwed up here. He's going to rush for a gate to get out, but it might be too late behind this. Yuji Library now on the way. PuppyPaw is going to mop up the first wave of Palace Guard, but he needs to move now. Wingard Raider rush. Got to go fast or go home. You can't play this like England in the quarterfinal. No chilling around. You just need to go fast. You need to score hard. Can he do this? Sacred Site timers are still ticking down. He walls in the rest of the threat. You guys are only a problem if I let you out. Oh, no. Another villager down. 14 eco lead now for Beasty. Wingard Raiders are going to show up. Villagers are exposed on the front lines, so there's actually a good thing that he's drawing the fight towards this. Problematic, though, because remember, right now, he's defending with these Raiders. He needs to attack. That is a lot of cav. That's kind of wild, right? Like, already up to 16 cav and scaling. Who wants to crap talk my Raiders? I'm telling you, this thing is nuts. Problem is, now it has a counter coming. Beasty massing spears. So PuppyPaw now needs to transition. Rangers, I agree, would be really Giga Brain here. Does require gold, does require a lot of food, and you are food, wood rather, and you are food focused. So maybe like just start prepping racks, men at arms alongside it. Another issue is walls are coming up. Now, luckily for PuppyPaw, they are only wood walls. Beasty's being a bit frugal about this. No stone walls. That's not going to raid in. Beasty Trying to find the right position to fight in. I mean, realistically, if PuppyPaw just breaks and goes in 2 directions, this could prove problematic for the Serb. Instead, PuppyPaw routes the whole army around to the north side. He's going to peel some for the south to go for the decap. Only 1 Spearman going here. He might be elite, but against 6 cavalry units, I can't help but feel that's setting a guy up to fail. More troops are on the way to assist. And he goes to the docks. Okay, so plan revealed. And behind this, PuppyPaw now prepping the footman. He's happy with what he's seen. Interesting choice. I feel like people don't often go rangers here. The concern is probably like Nesta Bees would just counter mass rangers anyway. So you'd rather have a bulky frontline that can go in, right? I like to think of rangers as a specialist unit and footmen as an all-rounder. 12 Knights are now raiding in though. Textiles at least there, so should minimize the losses. But there should be some. PuppyPaw can't hang around too long though. So I'm just gonna like flag this right now because this is a classic example of what I highlight a lot with Juji. This Juji library, you see it time and time again. What was the point? If he had the Temple of the Sun, he could have chased this down much cleaner. Great pinch in the choke point though. Will mop up most of the crew. PuppyPaw, looks like the rest is going to be finished off here. No easy way of getting out. A few will escape to tell the tale, but the rest have been murdered. Meanwhile, a blocker on the keep drop over on the west side. Beasty! He lost so many villagers here. Look at the count. The distraction worked out. The elite night pump came in just in time there. Villagers still routing out to try and complete the keep. Not sure they're ever going to get to, though. New wave of Pass Guard coming in to reclaim the area, but definitely came at a high price. We were so distracted by the dive, we didn't see the rest, but it doesn't matter, because Beasty's the best. Gets the win, now leads the set, and finds himself on the verge of victory in this show match. Wow. No time to get the footman, no time to recover. The Raiders simply not able to do enough damage and stay alive means Beasty now leads this insanely close set. What's going to happen next? Only one way to find out. Damn. Losing game. Rush Imp. When Castle Age is so bad, Imperial can't be worse. I think that's the perfect name for that one. Nice idea, but didn't work out for him. Well, so to that point, Dirty Pirate, because I'm pretty sure I was the one who flagged this the first time. Footman versus Gilded Men-at-Arms. Gilded Men-at-Arms have slightly more health. Excuse me. And the melee armor is better. The effective HP on Footman matters more against range units, remember. It's different in that regard. And also the DPS is better for Gilded Men-at-Arms. But per pop logic, yes, Footman are better. Which is absurd. Alright guys, exclamation mark give aces. We've got 2 keys to give away. I need to do it quick before they get into a new game. Go, 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 go. If you guys want to try Battle Aces, which is honestly such a fun RTS that I think everyone should actually have a spin at, then be sure to get exclamation mark give aces in the chat because I'm about to roll the giveaways to see who's going to get their hands on the key. So mush, mush, vamos, go. So I'm going to roll the first one now, and then we'll roll another one right afterwards. Gully! Congrats, bud. Time to become the youngest prodigy at another RTS, mate. Look at that. We're putting more sweats on the ladder. This is great, because now I can queue into Gully and whip his ass. And that's just important to me, man. It's important that I beat a 16-year-old kid at a video game. Is Gully here? If he's not, I'm re-rolling his key. Do I re-roll it or do I DM it to him? I mean, he left, you know. I don't know if we reward that behavior. Gully? Dude's not even here. Oh, also, to the whole word ban thing, sometimes I'm just not looking at the word bans. Especially when we're in pro games. I try to play into it, but when you ban literally every word to refer to a player, I feel like it's doing the player a disservice in an epic series if you can't call them by their name. So, for the most, I actually abide by it, even when we're in pro games. I always abide by it when we do pub games. But when we're in pro games, sometimes when the player deserves to have his name called out because he's done something genius or something tragic, yeah, I break it for the narrative because the narrative is better. All right, I'll roll the other person now anyway. Farm man. Wait, farm man, you already won a key. Why do you need another key? I know you want a key. Do you want me to re-roll it? Is he even here? He's probably not here. I think that one might get re-rolled. Yeah, that one's getting re-rolled. No, they typed it a while ago, Baltin. I need to change the word occasionally, is the problem. Artesian. You here? I think I just saw you a moment ago. Quick, 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 quick. Delhi versus Joan. Yeah, quick, quick, quick. This might be a quick one. We might have a 7th game here, because this is a hard matchup for Delhi. There you go, buddy. Congrats. Enjoy the key. All right, I'll give away one more. I'm going to roll it now. Prof. Dory. I like how you just said, I am here, and then that happened. Damn. Talk about timing. Congrats, Prof. Dory. All right, I'll probably give away like 1, maybe 2 more keys before the end of the stream. So hang around if you're after some access to that. 1 second, let me get that key ready. Here you go, bud. Enjoy. What key is that? Keys for Battle Aces. Very fun RTS, actually. All right, should we get ready to go? Could be the final game. Hype it up. Goddamn, hype it up, chat. Jump with glee and excitement. What a series this has been already. Gamba? Oh, yeah, we need to pay out, don't we? All these BC fans. All right, and we'll run it back. Who will win? 1 minute. Prediction is up for you guys. You know what? I think we're getting 7 games in this series. Beasty now on match point up against the Canadian PuppyPaw. 3-2 is the scoreline in this best of 7. But what an awkward matchup to have to face now in Hill and Dale. Beasty, Delhi, a known commodity on Hill and Dale. But you know what's known in this matchup? How much Joan gets to dunk and make Delhi players moan. This is a hard one for even the best of Delhi players to navigate. We've heard plenty of players say that. Joan farms up XP way too quickly off these feudal age fights, and Delhi's whole game is focused around being present on the map. Something that Joan begs out of her opponents time and time again. Let's see if PuppyPaw can take us to a 7th game to decide this outcome, or if it's going to be locked in 6 by the serve. Whew. This should be a really fun one as well. Like, Hill and Dale between Joan and Delhi. Like, typically when you see Hill and Dale, you usually see one civ that's very campy. That's why Delhi felt really good for years, actually, on this map, is that it countered that campiness by forcing you into the mid-map. But we have 2 of the most aggressive civs in Age of Empires 4 here. I think we might be seeing some sparks fly in the mid-map. Wonder, actually... Ooh, okay, that's sick. Beasty, he walked straight out with the mill drop onto the deer. We don't always see that out of civs, and we definitely do not see it very often out of Delhi. That's kind of cool. That should give him a much more efficient tech-up timing. It has come at initial cost, though, right? Like, he went for the mosque as well, and also the mill added in walk time, so you're already seeing him kind of sting a bit here, but it's only temporary. Remember, he's about to get a drop-off from most of these villages, and then it should be a tech-up. Meantime, PuppyPaw is going to go for the slower tech timing here. So that's going to give him an immediate level 2 zone, but it does mean that Beasty can crack feudal quicker if he chooses. And yeah, the sacred sites leave a lot to be desired here. Was this... Let's double check. This is not the EGC Hill and Dale. This is normal Hill and Dale. That explains everything. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. I mean, I think my feedback to them is like kind of accept the EGC Hill and Dale tends to spawn better from what I've seen. I think also, if I remember correctly, Standard Hill and Dale can't have this trade post that spawn forward, right? Am I correct in that? It's always corner-based. But I think this is kind of brutal. Like, Beasty could just kind of lock these in very efficiently, especially considering he's got the tree line and the stone outcropping on this one. And then this one's close to the edge of the map. So, like, you can just lock 2 and have a very big edge here. I think what always worries me when I see spawns like that as well is like a good Delhi player can just play into these choke points and behind walls to take good fights with mass archers. And that's problematic because although Joan is favored in this matchup, where I think it pivots to Delhi is if Joan's ever up against 35, 40 archers mass. right? Because those counts, that type of count, will kill Zhone almost immediately. She won't be able to react. So there's cases where, like, if you're in range, you're dead. And what makes it rougher for PuppyPaw is I think usually in this matchup, you kind of get forced to go melee Zhone because it gives more value against Ghazi spears, right? Like, there's 3 types of units Deli could realistically build, and Zhone counts 2. And you kind of need that melee Zhone to deter the spearman count, otherwise your knights do nothing. How do you guys vote on this one? I'm curious. Last time it was quite one-sided. Wow. 58% Beasty, 42% PuppyPaw. Even with the particular the Sif's picks, right? Like, remember, you know, I'm actually curious. If we look on the ladder, I never like using ladder reference for Deli metrics, but you know, Deli versus Zhone, yeah, it's a 65% win rate for Zhone over 31 games. And I think the previous patch was even more skewed than that. PuppyPaw now teched up. First knight gets queued up. Zhone should be... I think this wall might just get the XP she needs. She should be very, very close to a level up. In fact, we can switch over quickly to show you guys. Boom. There you go. Immediately hits it. So we'll finish the wall and then basically go into level 2. Back wall's also being set up. So astutely aware of the Ghazi raid potential. And this is kind of cool. PuppyPaw going into spears. So melee Zhone, spears, knights. That's a really cool comp for Zhone. A lot of Zhone players will go archers, but remember, that's like the #1 victory for Deli. The more archers you're basing on each side, the better it is for Deli. Like, I always find when I watch matchups in Feudal, if a Civ is leaning more archers and that allows more archer reaction from Deli, Deli are kind of winning by more. Very defensive overall, though, right? Like, going spears and walls is quite unheard of. Typically, when Zhone's in a tempo-based matchup, it's one or the other. Like, either I have more knights than you, and thus you should build spears, or I'll build spears, right? Or I'll build walls, and then I'll raid my knights. You very rarely ever see both. Some Knight Clash coming in. Zhone not a part of it. She's gone off the boar. Probably the only time in the game where she will be able to get boar, so not a bad choice per se. And notice what's happening here. Beasty's chipping damage. He's going to pull these back, and he's going to pull the Scholar to heal. So really cool play there. Meanwhile, the damage to PuppyPaw is kind of more permanent here. Divine Restoration can offset some, and Chivalry will help eventually. But you're not often going to see a Zhone player build Chivalry before, like, what, 5, 6 nights at least, I usually find on average. Sometimes even later. Because remember, whenever you go for Chivalry, especially when you're going for this type of composition, you're sacrificing cavalry scaling. And also, Chivalry itself costs, what, 1.25 knights? So if you're in a matchup where it's Ghazi spam versus Knight spam, and you have to do that, you're losing, right? The cool thing about PuppyPaw's comp is by leaning spears, you get a bit more wiggle room to get away with Chivalry tech. But you have to be very careful in the interim. And we need a blocker here. Sick move, PuppyPaw. Unfortunately, the blocks are not going to work out. Spearmen have now been revealed. So Beasty should be an immediate transition into archery ranges here. Instead, he has gone for the double blacksmiths. So he's going to be delayed on the wood required. The credit to him, man. Like, Beasty going for the deer first means he can now just shuffle back towards the berries and the sheep on the backside. He doesn't have to risk economy. PuppyPaw in quite a sticky predicament here. Army not big enough to dive. Spearmen forced to be revealed sooner than he would have liked. That means archers are going to be the appropriate reaction. PuppyPaw now has to add in, what, probably a second stables or play archers. He chooses to play archers. I guess the issue with second stables is it's not really affordable at this stage, right? Your economy feels quite weak. It's not like your Chamber of Commerce or something buffing you behind this. And also, your initial food's going to start to dry up pretty quick here. And then you're going to be on worse sources, right? We'll have to run out. Either way, it's a gap in gathering. But I always get worried when you have to scale archers like this. What you really need is Zhone involved in the fight soon. And thank you very much, Mad Mike, for the prime. Appreciate the sub, buddy. Remember, guys, you got this primes, use them. We stream per month. I think we almost always end up doing 100+ hours per month on this channel alone. It's always worth a subscription. Beasty is going to raid to block the walls going up, so we'll find some chip damage there. Spearman pushing forward. Archers are scaling behind. Beasty will have the defender's advantage. Looks like the Ghazi. Wait, ooh. Oh, Beasty didn't realize, and now it might be too late to get the kill. The Knight should be able to block this, so good reaction out of PuppyPaw. Unfortunate ignorance from Beasty there. A bit too distracted to pull back now. Zhone in the meantime in with the cleave. Being ignored. She needs to be killed though. Target comes in now. Divine Restoration is going to be popped. Tries to shift her back. Target is coming in. Cleave not there in time, but the XP farmed up big there. Zhone getting what? Probably 100 XP out of that fight. Close to. Definitely worthwhile for the buyback. Nice cleanup. You saw the desperation as well. Beasty threw so many Ghazi onto Zhone. He lost most of them to the Knights. And you see now exactly why Zhone does so well in this matchup, right? That forced attention might get the kill, but it comes at a double cost. Units dying to Knights while Knights not dying, and Zhone leveling up alongside it. All of a sudden, Beasty switches gears. Finally goes to those wall-ins we talked about that could be very valuable here. PapyPaw, got to be feeling very confident with the numerical advantage now. Walls are going to complete. PuppyPaw, a little bit slow in that reaction. Didn't realize that Beasty was going to make such a greedy move here. And remember, guys, if you have archers like this is not a fight PuppyPaw necessarily wants to take unless he has raw number advantage. Burning this wall would cost him several units, right? Especially considering a lot of those are spears. So yeah, just has to back away. Understands perfectly well. It's 10 archers. He only has 6 in total. He's nowhere near the count he'd need to break this. He'd need 12 to 13 archers. But with Steel Arrow already there, I think the count goes up to more like 17 or 18 to feel great. Instead, Knights are going to peel off and go hunting. Zhone patrolling to the east side. Beasty now building up the walls, though, and it looks like he might be quick enough before the French army arrives. This is going to be tight. Ghazi are going to start to ripple into the economy. In fact, they end up intercepting, and it looks like PuppyPaw is just going to have to back away. Unfortunately, too late. The pathing just revealed it as well. He can't get around the back. Oh, man. Beasty's playing this perfectly on the timing for this. Really scrappy fight. Bad fight from the center, but his reaction since has been appropriate. Getting those walls up just to the nick each time before the army could arrive. Nice pick as well. Beasty just getting some freebies. Remember, when you play against Delhi, every single pick matters. Right? It's only a small lead you need to escalate. It's one of those type of civs. It's the type that someone like Marine Lord loves, right? Remember when he used to play French a lot? He used to say, all I need is a 3% advantage to build it into something bigger. Delhi, I think, is the truest embodiment in the entire game of that. And Beasty wouldn't have had vision on this army's exact location, but he would have understood that the ripple for both players is here to here. So he wants to lock one, move the other. Decap is going to come in, though, so well played by PuppyPaw on the burn through timing. Beasty needs to be careful about attempting to rewall that. He's going pretty much into raw mass archers. Has got some Ghazi to assist, but nothing big to brag home about. PuppyPaw, meanwhile, is gung-hoing it into mass knights. Meanwhile, Beasty now raiding as well. Both of them essentially attacking economy, right? Because you're going after the sacred sites, which give gold trickle, and then, of course, the obvious one for Beasty is going after the villages. A few knights are here to mingle, but only 3 of them. Nothing crazy. No textiles even for PuppyPaw. This is still something that I feel like should be nerfed about Delhi. I hate it. I genuinely think that textiles is too cheap for them, right? Because he's got it. You get it like every game. You give up 1 villager, pretty much. Sometimes less, because you have the Scholar's Garrison. That's it. 1 villager of production. Meanwhile, every other civ in the game gives up 1 villager and has to pay 150 resources. To me, that is still wild to this day. But that's the thing. The Knights, Divine Restoration is going to get pumped. Zhone will need to move quicker than that. Whoa! Nice for the recommitment. Love the XP range there, just on the very verge. Give it a little bit more over. Beasty, notice these walls. They're really the only reason why he can be out here at all. Without these walls, he dies. I love that PuppyPaw is now putting these permanent blockers in. Nice wall coming up. Pulls away with the villager just in the nick of time. Divine Restoration was used. Decap is going to fail here. PuppyPaw needs to move away. Zhone almost getting sniped. Villager will move away in time as well. Oh, overcommitment though. Zhone, a misclick from Beasty. Gets on the follow-up though. Zhone goes down. Dive into the main in the meantime. Ghazi now hitting the villagers. PuppyPaw doesn't have the gold for a buyback here. They're starting to lose track of everything. Beasty Able to get away with it on both fronts here. Decent damage done. And now he can ripple around towards that west side economy again. Oy, oy. I think the big problem here is PapyPaw is so busy attacking the economy in the center of the map, the sacred sites themselves, with knights. He's not doing anything to the real economy at home. Beasty is just having a field day here. It's so difficult on a map like Hillendale as well, right? It's just naturally a defendable map. So getting in isn't simple. A few more picks here, but pretty much even out on the return fire, right? Like Beasty now just targeting down the knights as well. Joan has respawned. She is hunting those Ghazi. Smart choice here. Remember, they give a lot of XP. 14 each. If you can catch him. PapyPaw a little bit slow on the reaction though. Distracted in the center. Has to move away. Beasty's numbers starting to swell up. This is becoming a very hard to control game for PapyPaw. Joan just wasting her time. Man, I actually think PapyPaw might just be dead. Archer's cut him off again. Beasty just so on point with his deli here. PapyPaw now just trying to break for the economy. He realizes this game's getting out of hand. The only way to reacquire it is to go after eco. Something that can't actually fight back fairly. So he has to dodge fights until then. Knights marching in, but Beasty sitting there. Reinforcements means it's not achievable. This is close to done. Knight count is getting high, but like realistically, PapyPaw has no answer to this many spears whatsoever. You know, Joan, we talked about the critical mass pool. When the archer count gets to 40 plus, she dies. She will not be able to cleave once before she's gone. Oh, Knight's going down as well. Archers could easily just snipe the Knights as well at this stage. Their health bars are that low. Retreat away. PapyPaw can feel defeat looming. Remember, Beasty's on match point. He wins here. He gets the full $150, and PapyPaw will be wondering why he wasted his evening. He just has to go for something, some target, somewhere. PapyPaw, if only he knew there was gathering on the front line, maybe that would be his target. Instead, full army now coming to defend a 2-to-1 military advantage for Beasty. More than that when you consider the attack speed buffer on everything here. Knight's turn for the eco. Spearman awaiting though, and that's unfortunate. He didn't react straight away. He dove past. This is getting out of hand. Joan, Divine Restoration pump, but she goes down before she can do anything more. Beasty now pushing forward. PapyPaw hides eco in the corner, but he's going to have to hide it somewhere else on a different map maybe, because this is looking done. No raid potential anywhere. Beasty sensed it out. He prepped defenses ahead of time. And now he's prepared to push this over the edge. GG cool. Beasty will be your champion this weekend. $150 going to his very big bank account that just got a little bit bigger. Woohoo! Damn, what a series. Delhi, hard countered by Joan. Like, I think most pro players would still take that line. Like, that it is one of Delhi's harder, if not hardest matchups. But Beasty made it look so simple. What a game. What a series. That's a really cool one. Damn. So, what was the final map we would have got to see actually? If it okay, yeah, that's kind of interesting. If it had gone to the final game, it would have been Ottomans versus Mongols and Bridges. I feel like that one's like either way though, right? Like Mongols all in and feudal can be scary for Ottos, so it's like a survival game. So like even if PuppyPaw had gotten to that final game, that 7th game, I don't think Beasty would have been hard countered. So yeah, what we said held true in the end, right? We said at the start of the series, I think a lot of people agreed, it's like, you know, Beasty's draft definitely looked better. I think PuppyPaw had really good drafting for the water maps was the interesting part, but it didn't really play out as intended. He started off insanely strong. Like, I was really impressed with the way PapyPaw came out of the door swinging. Like, guys, if you didn't catch it, like, here, I'll show you. Like, his opening games, like, I don't think most people would have anticipated them going that way based on the Civ matchups. Like, Lipany here with H3 versus Ibids. You know, we got like a reassessment, right? Because before this, I always thought H3 like had a hard time breaking Ibids based on the games I've seen from pro level players. Because you don't see this matchup too often. When you do, it feels like Ibids don't care about the feudal timing. but that was more like a 50-50. But HRE able to take the dunk, PapyPaw gets the win there. And I think the bigger like surprise was the way the Roost Japanese one played out. Like PapyPaw's tech timing was very late. Beasty looked in control of that game very early, but PapyPaw done a phenomenal job coming back in. After that, though, just a slippery slope, right? Defeat after defeat after defeat. Like even this Mali and Byzantine game, Beasty's opening didn't look ideal. I think he'd even agree with that. It didn't go according to plan. Apparently, he wasn't happy with the gold spawns that PapyPaw got. You can't really take anything like away from Beasty. A good reclaim. I think Floodplain might be my game of the series. I think that was an insanely close one, despite how you could see the looming details of Beasty's win with the tech up. PuppyPaw made that look very close. 4 Lakes was a punt after that opening. It just didn't work out. And then yeah, Hill and Dale. I don't think people expected that one to go quite that way so brutally. But well played. What an insane one. What did I call that one on the YouTube side? Map spawn makes Delhi's hardest matchup a 50-50, I think. All right. You hoped Beasty would lose? Yikes. I mean, I don't call for it one way or the other. Maybe it would have been nice to have seen it after the shade that got thrown at me recently, but yeah. I don't lean one way or the other. I just like I support good games. I've said that all the time. Don't get me wrong, sometimes if I see a player that has a very particularly boring playstyle, there's a deep conscious part of me, it's like I kinda want him to get his ass kicked. But I don't think like either player done a boring playstyle. It's just a really cool game. Oh yeah, Farman, don't you know? I'm the always wrong caster. Maybe I'll talk about that more on Monday. But once again, guys, really big shout out to Historic Alliance Gaming for organizing this. I love that they do these in the scene. I wish I was earning more from like streaming right now, so I could like put a few on. Maybe we'll try to put a few on in the future. What is up, Sean Slayer? Thank you very much for the Prime sub, buddy. Welcome to Swarm, guys. If you haven't like got those subs in, be sure to. We won't be streaming too much this week, so a little update on what's gonna be happening. I will be streaming tomorrow. Maybe a little bit Wednesday, but I think it's just unlikely. The reason, for those who don't know, I will be attending the Norwegian LAN, and I fly out on Thursday, very early Thursday, which means I'm going to have to sleep quite early on Wednesday. And then the reason I'm not streaming Tuesday, normally, for those who don't know, I actually stream 4 days a week. Usually it's Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. But my dear mum is ill, so she usually babysits my daughter on Tuesday. She's not able to this Tuesday, so I'll be looking after the little old Freya. Which is nice. Lets me spend some daddy-daughter time before I fly out. But yeah, really cool set between the two. I don't know, man. Like, I think, looking back at that series, though, was there anything better PuppyPaw could have done draft-wise, I wonder? Like, what was left in the pool that didn't get picked? I mean, everything got picked at the end. Like, I guess you're left with scraping the bottom barrel, but I feel like Mongols is made better than Ottos. I've yet to really be convinced by the Ottomans when I see them. I think the Ottomans, you know what that probably was? Maybe that was... This is one of the issues, I think, another weakness with Japanese is when you draft Japanese, you have to ban or pick Ottos, depending on the map pool. Because Japanese get pretty hard countered by Ottomans, because of the melee armor. So, like, a lot of your early players just get kind of slapped. And, like, Ottomans can... Even though the feudal is kind of weaker, they can play feudal into a Japanese with enough. But yeah, kind of a wild one. But... Yeah, really cool one overall. Hopefully we're going to see Hag do more of these. That'd be really cool to see. They are the French people. So I think they were casting as well. I think they had Jean Do. And I don't know who was casting them today. It's usually Jean Do who's over on there. But what I think we'll do now, we'll get ready to wind down. We'll find someone to raid. We're live for how long? Has it been almost 4 hours in total or something like that? I don't know. It's not the longest of streams, but, you know, I said it wasn't going to be an insanely long stream today. I want to try to spend a little bit of time with my daughter before she goes to sleep. And I'll be back tomorrow. So Monday, I'll probably start my stream about UK time, somewhere between 11 AM and midday is usually when I come online. And I think we'll aim to do, considering I'll only be doing Monday, we'll do probably somewhere between 6 and 8 hours. I think I'll try to do that day. We'll be giving away more keys. I'm going to do one more key giveaway today. So exclamation mark, give aces if you want to get your hands on a key. And yes, Gully, we do have a key for you as well. So you should have been watching the games, bud. But I'll make an exception because I'm such a nice guy. But yeah, we'll be doing some more key giveaways. I think what we'll do tomorrow is we'll obviously start with some Age of Empires 4. We'll do some casts and whatnot. And then we'll play some Battle Aces and we'll give away some more keys on that. If you guys haven't tried it out, I highly recommend it. Yeah, there's a reason Dumu has spent the last several days mainly in the Battle Aces directory and not the Age of Empires directory. And I can tell you it is a very, very fun game. I agree with his taste. Benny Boy, always very tasteful man. So, exclamation mark give aces. I'll roll a key giveaway after I find someone for us to raid. Let me have a look and see who's online. Any of our normies? There's not many people I'm noticing online today. There's maybe one of my regulars in the Battle Aces area. Nope. Guess everyone's just vibing. Let's have a look. Who we got here? We got a console gamer. Damn, you guys want to be really confused and watch a console gamer? I don't see your friend Braced. Oh, someone's playing free roll. Oh god, sorry. That audio quality is a bit rough, mate. Oh, do I endorse someone picking English all the time? Alright, quick, get the battle ace, get the give aces in. Exclamation mark give aces. I'm about to draw the giveaway. There's a lot of non-English people online today. Is the weird part. So it kind of limits our options. Any of my bros or broses coming online right now? I can wait a sec if so. If not, I'll just choose someone and end it. I'm going to end the YouTube stream right now. GG to people watching YouTube. Make sure you're following the Twitch side as well. Make sure you join our Discord. You can get the Discord via the Twitch side. It's all linked. I think it's in the YouTube description as well. But farewell to YouTube.